I'm just gonna start recording now because I wish some of this banter just now was picked up by the thing. Anywho,
all of it will get edited out.
dang.
Well, that's the thing. We can always.
We are actively recording.
Okay.
Great.
And welcome everyone to the Be All End All Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. I am Tyler
2026
Blackburn,
edition.
joined by.
I'm Jason Kern, joined by...
I'm Carter, joined by...
Sup, I'm Brooklyn, and this is...
I am Lincoln!
Our underpaid technical.
the not paid technical sound guy.
He's an
Light
intern.
words, yes.
So
That's a wonderful start.
We're doing great, guys.
indeed,
Amazing.
the best so far. So, how was everybody's watch this time?
Yes.
Actually, I'm particularly curious how Lincoln's watched this time.
Last time, I counted and wrote down every single time I laughed.
Mm-hmm.
For a total of, it was either 31 or 32 times, because two of them are kind of the same thing.
Now, has that number gone up or down?
This time, I laughed a total of 0 times.
That's a very big jump. 31 to 32.
Strong jump
So,
off.
what do you think caused that?
Probably just because I wasn't watching it with friends.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
true. It's true.
Yeah, how was everybody's watches?
It was pretty good. I kind of loathed it in the beginning, but once we got outside the hive, opening our horizons to the human world.
Oh, so
It
you
was
were just
enjoy-
there for Vanessa and Barry.
Beer.
Can I complain? No. I laughed a whole one time. And I will explain that laugh when I get to my notes here.
Excellent. How about you, Jason?
About 20 minutes in, I wanted to shoot myself. I'm gonna be real.
It was your first year, right?
This is only your first year,
Yeah.
man.
only gets
This is
better
my
from
first
here.
year. I watched this movie originally. I'm gonna say about maybe like 10 or so years ago, maybe like a few years after it first came out. I remember watching it on TV with my Nana when I was in South Carolina with her. And
That's a very distinct memory.
because
One you never forget.
the only scene I could remember for those next 10 years is when Vanessa does the loop in the glider and just fucking explodes. When I was 10 years old, that was the funniest scene in the entire movie because it was so out of place.
It is the funniest thing.
It is the best fucking. She blows up twice.
And we have a theory for you on that as well.
Like, she blows up
But we'll get
twice.
to that part
Well, that's just a theory.
later down the line.
That's just a theory.
A B
A
theory.
B theory.
Thanks for watching. All right.
I will say, despite my not laughing once, I did still smile a handful of times. I didn't write that down. though.
I think I laughed twice.
There you
the
go.
entire
That's a
movie.
good start.
That's a great start.
That's
Yeah.
a great
For now.
start.
Just,
A lot of room to grow and a lot of room to go down.
Am I allowed to discuss what I laughed? Because
No.
We'll get to it.
that.
We're
Okay.
gonna go down the line. I
Yeah.
know this is your first year. You got a long way to grow.
Of course. You've got your
You're
whole
not
life
grizzled
ahead.
veteran
Oh
like
my,
we
my
are.
whole life, I'm gonna be doing this forever.
Yes, until you die.
I fucking
Yeah.
hate you for
Yeah.
this.
Hey, you volunteered.
I know.
We did not do
I
shit
made
to
this
you.
bed. I'm gonna lie in it.
Exactly.
Carter, how was your
Okay.
fucking watch?
I was a mixed bag. Overall, I enjoyed it. At first, I was like, man, I have to watch this movie again. And then I was watching it, and I think I enjoy the first like 3/4 of the movie more than I enjoy the end. I find the ending to just be sort of like
Hodgepodge.
generic and more of like they're like, oh, sort of like
Like they gave up.
yeah, they exactly.
It's just like, we gotta get this fucking movie
Right.
out.
It's okay, now we need to tie things together to make it feel somewhat cohesive, and it's just sort of like just throwing in like basically repeating prior lines as if that they mean something now. And yeah, it's just a pretty generic ending to a very strange and wacky movie.
Yeah, also just... That's not how pollen works.
Yeah. There's a lot wrong with the
But
end.
it's magical New York, Pasadena pollen. It's straight from the Rose Parade.
Actually, it was in, I believe it was in California, which is
Yeah,
funny. I
Pasadena.
didn't know. Oh, it is. I don't know location.
It's just-
I don't know geography or cities and towns and all this sort of stuff. But I put a note, actually. One of my later notes is that they just, like, over the course of a montage, they cross the entire country in what seems to be hours.
Like 5 minutes or something.
They must
So
have been
these
on
are-
one of
these
those
are like-
Japanese bullet trains.
These are like FTLBs.
Oh God.
Also,
What about you?
I have a question. I might have just missed it, but wasn't it only Barry's hive that
Yes.
Yeah.
went to
yes.
save the plane?
Oh,
Yeah.
apparently.
Okay, we'll
And
cover
they,
that
they
later.
also,
but,
did their faster than
I've
light
got
warp
some-
to California
I've
from
got
New
some notes
York.
on them.
okay.
when they come to save the plane, they're like just outside of New York. They're just outside JFK.
LA, yeah.
No,
JFK.
the plane is in California.
No,
No, when they're coming
go
up on
from
the storm,
California
they,
to
they,
JFK.
They have them like roundabout until the storm. Until the storm.
Oh, I guess we don't know where the storm is, actually.
Over
by
New York
JFK.
City.
Oh, it was over.
Yes,
I'm
they're
gonna
outside
make this
JFK.
abundantly clear that this was in New York City because this is an actual image. Unfortunately, I can't show our viewers or our listeners, but
imagine if you will.
I cannot show our viewers this because I don't have the editing skills for that. This is an actual shot from the movie, and this does prove that they were in fact in New York.
Oh, yeah, that
Those
that's proven.
for my listening friends. For my listening friends, in the background of one of the scenes in the B movie, the Twin Towers are visible.
Didn't this movie come out in 2007?
Wait a minute.
This movie came out in 2007,
And-
they still have the Twin Towers in
And
it,
may I point out,
It's an
and a
alternate,
plane show.
it's an
Yes,
alternate
yeah.
reality. It's an
Well, because
alternate reality.
either we accept that it's an alternate reality and this does take place in 2007, but the towers are still standing because obviously that means Kermit did not exist in this
Of
time.
course.
No,
And
What do you mean
unfortunately,
Kermit?
Incredible. Well, we all know that Kermit had something to do with the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
I
I don't.
have a different theory, but
Hold
we'll
on.
get to it next
So
time.
now, unfortunately, that does also mean that Barry B. Benson's ears were never blessed by the sounds of "Welcome to the Black Parade" by MCR.
I feel like you have lost us, or at the very least, you've lost me.
MCR was created by Gerard Way after he witnessed 9/11.
Okay.
so
Also, okay, we had to stop
That
talking about
that
9/11.
does also, in fact, mean that the Ellen Show did never come to be. Thank God.
let's
stop talking
let's
about
continue
9/11.
on this motion. Brooke, how
So,
was your watch?
I just have to say, backed off all that information. Absolutely phenomenal watch.
How many
I'd say-
times did you laugh?
Hell, I'd say I loved it probably more than the first time I watched it. Don't know how many times I laughed. I wasn't keeping track of that, but I do have some notes, a plethora of them.
Nice.
Some of them I imagine are repeated by my fellow brothers in Barry here.
I can never say that again.
Yes, indeed.
My brothers in B, brothers in Barry.
The worker bees.
Well,
drones.
we already talked about Link, so we've got everybody covered. Let us, Kat, move on. We're gonna start dissecting the movie bit by bit. Let's dissect it to the point of before Barry leaves the hive. You know, let's any bullet points we have.
We do have a decent chunk within that space of just stuff that happens back to
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Indeed.
And also,
That's like the
yeah.
most content-packed spot.
And this is
Oh.
the beginning of the movie too.
Oh,
Yes.
just
They
to clarify.
cover so much lore,
Just-
just B lore in the span of like 20, 30 minutes.
Indeed. Yeah, we get a lot. What's up, Carter?
To clarify for our listeners, this year we didn't all watch it together.
Yeah.
We all watched it
Indeed.
individually, except for Ty watched it individually, then watched it with Brooke.
Yes.
Indeed.
And may we bow our hats for not all of us are here this year.
Unfortunately.
Indeed, some of us seem to have died. Of course, they'll be dying post-production due to their lack of presence here.
Yes.
But
they are.
Apparently gonna go murder being God.
They know what they signed up
and Mikey,
for.
apparently.
yeah,
It's in the
they made a
So-
pact, they made a blood agreement, and they broke it.
I've
and we
never
all
shed
understand
any
the
blood for this.
Oh
Well, you
no,
weren't conscious.
not yours.
Don't
Caleb.
worry about it.
Anywho, they will be back next year, hopefully.
But obviously the blood of bejesus.
Be Jesus. That's true.
Jesus did not shed any blood
No,
for the
no,
Bee
not
movie.
Jesus,
Well,
but
no,
Jesus.
he
Oh,
shed
good, my bad.
Jesus.
Good
Yeah,
Jesus.
but Jesus shed
Be Jesus
honey.
is canon in the B movie universe.
It
He is.
He is.
So he did shed blood.
But
The
that,
very
but that
beginning.
is it.
He
That
did
is a
not
bit
shed
later. in the
Have
movie.
blood?
They
Yeah.
have
Yes.
Yes.
They have honey in the B movie.
Yes. They have blood.
Everything.
That's
every,
right.
every-
What's
No,
his
they
name is
have
on a
blood.
honey IV.
No,
That's later on.
Hold on a sec. I gotta rebuke that because if you go into a hospital and they give you an IV drip on a timer and that timer is on blood, that is a very irresponsible hospital. They never put an IV with a button that you press to
It's
give yourself
morphine.
more
Yeah,
blood.
honey is morphine.
Honey
Honey
is
is
their
everything.
drug. Honey is their water. So we all come to understand that bees don't make honey because they can. They make honey because they have
So
to.
you're telling me that
They're addicted to
This is
honey.
this is buzzing bad.
No,
shut up.
Barry, we need to cook.
Barry.
I am the one who buzzes.
Sting.
Are you
It's
feeling a
not
little
funny.
stung, Mr. Sting?
Indeed.
I am not in the Krellman. I am the Krellman.
Let's move back on. I've got some bullet points here. One thing I know is bee cars,
They are kind of goofy.
They-
and they run off of honey.
but
wacky.
also the human cars are in this universe.
What?
The human cars are also.
I think in like the scene where Barry goes through the car engine.
Oh,
the-
that's outside the hut.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we haven't
that's
gotten
outside
there.
the hut.
Alright, I gotta-
We'll get
I
to
gotta-
that.
I
We'll
gotta
get to
say
that.
So what about the cars?
They're very much. What do they run on?
They run.
They run on
okay,
honey.
so they run honey.
Because
So-
one of them just drinks honey. Just
Yeah, he
drinks
drinks
honey
honey
out of the
straight
So-
from the gas.
So they figured a way to create cars inside the beehive. So it's pretty small cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've also figured out a way to make honey a fuel.
Uh-huh.
And
Which
obviously,
makes
It's an
sense.
all-purpose
Glucose has a lot of energy in it.
obviously,
Who's
yes,
making the cars? If all of these guys
Hunnex.
make, all right,
Hunnex.
Yeah,
Indeed.
honey.
Yeah.
but all Hunnex
Or
needs
Hun-
to
or
make
Honda.
is just straight honey. Every single job they have, taking out the crud, whatever
That is
the
the
hat
only
guy.
non-honey job, isn't it?
There's like several, like every single
Technically
job
not
in
quite.
Hunnex just seems to be making honey. There's just nobody who's making cars.
Well,
Who's
presumably,
making the
like,
cars?
They
You could
import the-
argue that for the entire infrastructure of the hive as well.
Right.
Well,
Also,
yeah.
the bees within the cubicles, presumably they're R&D or something.
So-
Right.
all right.
R&D,
So
they've got to be some sort of other development stuff.
So-
Like, it's not just
so
honey.
Hunnex is the Arasaka of
Yeah.
Barry's hive.
Yeah.
Sure.
There is a Saburo Hunnex.
Yeah.
So, can we safe to say that maybe their cars could be imported?
It is possible that there could be other hives that are under the Hunnex banner.
That's
Because this
Right.
could
However,
be
I
a
will say
corporate owned.
importing a
That's
car would be
really
fairly
Well,
difficult.
also the point being, these are honeybees. There are carpenter bees. There are bumblebees. There are 200
true.
species of bees within our world. I don't know what about.
I want
their
to know
world.
where the leafcutter ants are.
They don't.
Well, they're not. They're
Well,
not,
not
a
in the
bee.
beehive.
They're in the movie Ants. That's our next podcast. After we
No!
Do not sign us up for a second
after we
podcast.
transcend our mortal shells to the
I
land beyond.
don't think
Yeah,
God is
we'll
going to
be-
let us watch ants in heaven.
Well, I mean, in fact,
you hear yourself?
we have to have the difficult discussion of some of you will have to be tuning in from hell.
That is also part of the content.
We will have to have a trans afterlife video call.
I'm just like figuring out because apparently there were a bunch of cars that I just hadn't actually noticed when I watched the movie because I was mostly just focused on like the world and then the car that Barry and what's his friend's name? I can't-
Adam.
Adam, the only
Barry and
non-bee
Adam.
name.
Yes, he
True.
in fact is the only bee without a bee name.
And I was kind of hoping it's just like, maybe if I look at the cars, there'll be like a logo on it or something, like maybe some model designer. No, but I'm instead finding out that there is a bee rickshaw.
What?
A rickshaw. Like, how in like India they have like the taxis that are just like pedal
Yes.
carts?
Oh, yeah.
There's a bee rickshaw.
Yes, there is.
Huh.
Also, not just Adam. The bee who we can talk about this because he was
Oh, that's right. I know who you're talking about.
the test subject who wore
Oh,
the helmet.
Dave. Yeah.
Dave. Yeah, his name was Dave.
Ah.
Yes, and
So we all know that those are like the white moms
Mhm.
of the B universe, the ones who, any of our listeners who know what r/tragedy is.
Yes.
You'd be familiar with that sort of context, which for anyone who isn't, r/tragedy is not spelled tragedy. It is a web page for some very unique names. So what we have to understand that in this world, people named Adam, and in this case also Dave, are named by the white moms who wanted a little bit of a creative name.
Yes.
Also, the
True,
only
definitely
reason I
can.
remember the name Dave is because I have halfway through my notes the note "Poor Dave."
I have something similar. I have Dave the Undying
That's true, yeah.
because
Before we get too far, I do want to drop something because this is like right at the start of the movie. Barry gets up in the morning, he does his whole routine. Part of what he does is he sharpens his stinger. He sticks his little stinger, his little point, into a sharpener. And we all know how sharpening something works. It shaves it off. So in this world, do bees just continually grow stingers?
Oh,
is
wow.
this
Like
like a
beavers?
beaver
So
situation?
Adam should theoretically grow
Right.
back his
It
finger.
completely invalidates the entire
No.
Alan timeline.
No, actually, it doesn't. Yeah.
no, Adam. If we think of the stinger as think of it as a weed. When you pull a weed, if you don't pull the roots, it keeps coming back.
Right. Because
When they
the reason
sting-
a lot of bees
Well,
die
but
is because it
Adam's
breaks out from their
stinger
organs.
never comes back though.
Yes,
Right.
because think of the stinger as an organ that it can lose a bit of it, but it will keep growing back.
Yeah, it will
But once you
regenerate.
sting,
That's not
you
how a
rem-
stinger works.
You remove
But this
the.
is the bee.
This is the.
That's the thing. Real life bees, their stingers don't grow. So how is he continuing to sharpen his stinger? Do their stingers grow in the bee movie
Are they
universe?
born with full-grown stingers?
Yes.
I
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Fun fact, I'll say this. The reason that bees die when they sting somebody is because their organs are attached to their
Right.
stingers and it will rip them all out.
Right.
So in this particular
Obviously,
case...
you can't put that in a kids movie.
Right. But in this case,
That's just on the phone.
He's just dying on the spot.
yeah, but
Rated R
so,
board.
again, my point stands though is how is he sharpening down his stinger and still has it unless it's growing?
It would have
Do
to
there-
be growing.
right, like
It
their
might-
stingers
yeah.
just must grow in this universe.
Or maybe we're
right?
completely misunderstanding it, and it's actually just a stinger polisher.
I mean,
No,
I
the
suppose,
ball.
but it's clearly
Because the
intentional
fingers, I think, like
Straight.
like change sizes throughout the movie. Because at the beginning of the movie, his I have this another image I can't show. His stinger is like Barry's
it's
stinger is
pretty
pretty
small,
pretty
I
Yeah.
think.
small.
Oh, right.
But then when Adam uses it on the, it's like
retracts.
Yeah.
several
Yeah.
Right,
inches
it's
long.
almost like a cat's claw.
Yeah, they can retract it. I forgot. That is actually something they show in it. I forget
Yeah, and
where.
it's like,
Or-
so are
Why?
are these all like cat bee hybrids? That's what we're
Well,
supposed
could
to
be.
understand.
Well,
Very little like bees. They're just ovals with legs and arms.
And
yeah,
human
but you have to
faces.
give the audience something to identify with. If we had an actual bee,
Right.
That's why all
We
the
couldn't
female
identify.
bees have wigs.
yes,
Which is also a beehive haircut.
it's just
So,
hair and dust.
right.
Clearly,
yeah,
we're
all of them are
understanding
that.
here that unless it looks kind of like a person, we all want to kill it, right?
That's well, it's a known fact about human psychology.
So much mosquito racism in this movie.
There is
Not
a
enough.
lot.
There is a lot. There is a lot of
Not
mosquito
enough, I
racism.
wish.
What do you mean
That's
not
fair.
enough?
I hate.
I mean, like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
the
not
one
opposed to
mosquito
that.
is on, like has like maybe like granted like what 5-10 minutes of screen time.
Collectively, yeah.
Also, I find it amusing that all of the mosquitoes hopped on the windshield of the blood drive truck.
Hold on, we're getting outside of the
Yes,
house.
hold on.
Right,
All right,
right,
to bring
yes.
bring it back into it. So Dave is undying. All right, you know that.
Step.
Clearly, he's immortal.
You had a thought, Brooke, about that little drop of honey during
yes,
that.
I did. So when they're showing off the lab at Hunnix, they're taking you through a little tour and everything, and they have the one scene where this guy in a lab coat and he's testing it for quality, and so he's under this massive dispenser that leads down to a tiny little funnel. Now in that shot, you're like, oh, okay, so he's just testing one drop out of this batch, and then once it's good, they're gonna move on. There's no exit to that vat other than that little spot that drips. There's an entrance that comes from above. There is no exit. So what are they doing?
Maybe the entire thing
I don't.
rotates
I
out.
don't. It's,
I
is
guess,
it, is
but
this
there's
what-
nothing
is this-
that it's on. It's just supported by
It's like a curling
stagnant
straw
thing.
going into
Yes. It's supported by stagnant beams. This thing doesn't move. So where is it going?
Maybe he tested every drop, and that's why it's
he
so
puts it in a
slow.
funnel and hands it off to like the tour
Yeah,
guide.
he puts it in a little flask, and he's testing it and whatnot.
I don't
There
think
is
I
no
caught that.
other exit to that vat. Well, because it's only very briefly shown, because it starts up here and then it pans down.
Yeah.
But you can see there's no other exit out of that
We
vat.
we can assume that maybe he tests every drop, and then when he's done, he puts it into another vat to continue the process.
wait.
But during that shot, he gave up his one beaker, and so he lost it, and they halted production for the entire day. We can hope.
What if? So you're saying like there's no way for like it to get in, right?
No, it can get in. It just can't get out.
Doesn't have an exit
The
tunnel.
only exit
Two.
is that little spot where it drips into his flask.
Yeah, here's a
Okay, so
possibility.
maybe my idea would because I thought it was just like maybe they, like when it like finally empties out, like they just fly in another one, but
No, it's on a stagnant thing. So
Okay.
it doesn't move.
So here's my theory: is they probably have a hose system that they hook up to the bottom of it.
What? But the hole's only that big. The
Well,
hole
there
is
is a
only
little
big
hole
enough
there.
for a drop.
That's
it's a
fair.
very small hose.
Maybe they have a pump that they attach
That's
to the
the only
top.
other thing I can think of is if they're bringing in some sort of pump from the top and they siphon it all out.
Well,
But even so, that seems really arduous for people who pride themselves on like excellence of manufacturing.
I will also say
very
that it would make sense that when he tests it up drop by drop and then he pours it into a new vat to continue the cycle, they only state they make like 3 cups of honey a year, and that's a lot of honey that we see within the hive. Maybe even more than 3 cups, I would say. So maybe they intentionally do this to slow down production, otherwise they would make too much. And they would flood the market and the
yes,
value
yes.
of honey would drop.
Artificial
Okay,
scarcity,
but I'll raise
yeah.
you this.
Oh,
I'll raise
oh,
you this.
ooh.
There is only one lab, which means if there's only one lab, they don't have to worry about scarcity.
What if?
Or
Hold on.
bad production design.
What
maybe-
if it's a difference between like how you got like cups and liters or whatever in between the U.S. and Britain.
No.
Now,
But
I
so
would-
you have bee cups and human cups.
I would
Now,
say
bee cup is
no,
probably,
because
like
towards the
considerably
end of the
No,
movie,
we do.
smaller.
We do. There is actual proof that they use the same measuring system. Which, first off, fucking wild.
Yeah.
so you gotta think
Your
about
rule
the
is
fact
to
that
never
the rest,
talk to the
the
human.
rest
Guys,
of
let's
the
stop
bee
talking over
world.
each other.
You gotta think about the fact that the rest of the bee world probably laughs at the hive that Barry Benson comes from. Mr. Barry B. Benson, for still using the same system as America despite everybody else not using that one.
yeah.
Indeed.
All the British fucking bees are laughing at Barry.
Look at this.
Look at these fucking white guys. They hate it. Standing in here in a cups, are you?
I have an alternate theory for the lab. The filmmakers didn't think that far.
No, that's impossible.
I think
True.
that's-
Impossible. That is
Or-
impossible.
I
Or
gotta say, Link's probably onto something here.
that,
I
or
refuse.
that,
With a
or
pencil sharpener.
I
that
refuse to
or-
believe it.
I think my theory's better.
the hive is huge, and the way they were, because first of all, they were on a tour, and this was a tour. So what could be is that this is like a lab they created to conscript bees into it, to make them think this is what it's like. But in reality, it's just a stage to get the bees working. Because
Barry
Okay, fucking bee,
Barry
Neo.
figures out that it's just a stage real quick then.
well, also he had a midlife crisis. It's like, so you're just gonna work us to death?
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
sure
sure
try.
Right, he had a midlife crisis at like what 8 days old.
Yeah, that's true.
Class of 915.
What was it? 3 days of
That
grade
has to mean
school,
that their
3 days of high school, and then 3 days of college. But he took each
9:15
day
of
off,
that day. Wait.
is what he said.
No, probably not the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they have it's 2 days, 2 days, and 2 days
Or
For
for
two.
each. Yeah,
I thought it was 3 days.
it might be
I
3.
think it's 3.
But it's
No, it's
only
3 days.
they only spend a couple of days in each grade. Yeah, it was 3 days of like
3 days of
Grade school.
elementary, 3 days of
3
grade
days
school,
of
3
high
days
school.
of high school, 3 days of college.
But he took one
graduation.
day off,
Yeah. So
Of
yeah,
college.
about 10
of
days.
college, that's right.
so 8 days.
You
but he's
sure-
been
you
alive
sure
for
came
9.
back
Or
and
10
did
days.
10 days, yes.
Because 3 days of college.
Yes.
Right.
And what's the average lifespan of a honeybee? Do we know?
Look it up. I won't look it
I
up.
think it was like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
That's pretty. Yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, well, actually, he's almost dead.
He's on his way out.
Well, but these are bee movie bees.
Well, that would mean it's a
They are
midlife
genetically
crisis.
different bees.
That would mean it's
Right.
a
That's one of the,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious at this point that they're genetically different because first off, bees don't get graying hair.
No.
And
Bees
his
don't get hair,
dad
generally.
has graying hair.
Also, was it established that they are or are not all cousins?
They
are.
are. They are.
Okay,
It's said.
so-
Some are distant though.
I do have so much incest, as I believe my second note.
Well, because I mean,
Yeah.
you have to
You're
keep in
gonna say
mind they
laugh.
all have one queen. They all come from the same woman.
The
Yeah.
lifespan
Also-
of worker bees, so I'm assuming that worker Barry and Adam both were worker honeybees, ranges from 5 to 7 weeks.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so
That's
he's still
definitely a
young.
lot longer
So
than
he's
I
yeah,
thought.
he's about maybe like 25, I
Okay.
guess, in human years.
Okay.
That
That
he
checks
went to
out.
college.
All right.
Also, at some point they said their queen was elected.
That is the drone has to find a queen bee, otherwise he dies.
Wait, do they have
Physic-
like a you know how there's like Miss America? Do they have Miss Hive? And that's the one that ends up being the queen.
Bruh.
Maybe?
I don't know. I mean, the one
other thing
elected
of
queen
note,
of.
too. The bees, if you pay attention to them, all of them have brown eyes except for Barry and his father.
I did notice this. Also, I'm not 100% sure.
Meaning,
Go ahead.
if he's the only other bee with blue eyes, his father has to be the one who fought the queen.
That makes sense.
What if his father is an immigrant from another hive?
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I did also notice that. but
Bees
it's
are
al-
not pro-immigration.
Yeah, that's
we
for sure.
discussed this last year.
Very in particular.
Blue eyes.
The
yellow
Aryan
hair.
bee.
Yeah. Which I've got to say, I have a lot of notes that are based off of Barry, not just like his xenophobia, but his full-blown psychopathic behavior. I have a lot of notes.
Right.
I do have,
This year.
in the later parts of my notes, I think Barry's a faction.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Barry's a
Right.
faction.
I mean, we established this
We
last year.
found that
Did
out
we?
last year. Yes,
Yeah.
Barry B. Benson is B. Hitler.
Ooh,
Correct.
there was another thing. Did anybody write down some of the jobs that appeared on the job?
Yeah,
board?
we did. Me and him actually looked into this.
see.
Ty and I took a nice gander at all of the
Pause
jobs.
that whole scene just to
Yes.
like see like each one
Yes.
flip. Oh my god.
Uh,
They repeat a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Did you write any of them?
I got a couple of them, specifically the ones that like
Stuck
made me laugh a little bit.
Okay.
Let me find them really quick. Let's see.
Can I just ask real quick? What is the crud? What are you just taking the crud out? Like it's just pure
Extra
honey?
pollen and things like that. Actually,
Honeycomb
I
nectar.
will get to that at one point. There is one of the jobs is humming.
Yes.
It's humming.
That's humming.
Of course, there's Krellman, crud picker, that sort of thing. Then the other one, and this one really made me wonder, really made me ponder a bit. Hair removal.
Hair removal?
They have a hair removal job.
Hmm.
Mind you, the way that bees collect honey in this, they use that machine to just suck out all of the nectar in these. So where's the hair coming from?
The
bees?
Maybe.
I mean, that's what it.
What-
The
I
bees
mean-
wear helmets.
Well, yeah,
but they have
helmets-
some on their butts.
They are still
But
very
again-
thorax, rather.
To a
What
degree,
about-
yes.
What about the
But
lady ones?
when
You can
they-
see their hair is going out
Yes,
from under the thing.
But when they put that nectar into all of these vats and whatnot, a lot of the vats until later on are sealed. Only once you get to like where the Krellman and that whole area is the honey open to the actual rest of the hive.
Contaminants.
Before then, they hook up something to the back of their packs that takes it directly out. So there's no interference until a decent ways down the line of production.
So
Well, it
What?
could still be contaminants during the nectar collection.
Yeah, I'm about to say like because butterflies have hair on them, don't they? Like on their legs
Well, I
or
think
something.
pretty much every bug does.
Okay, but you get the point. So maybe like when they're sucking out the nectar or collecting the nectar,
I'm not sure if that's how that gun works. 'Cause
I-
if you look, it siphons it.
But
it's
yeah,
pretty
but I
direct.
mean, but it like, you know, it might siphon out like something that might have been left behind by a different bug, and so you just got to remove that bit
True.
of hair from that other bug.
We can also potentially think of that in the history of the hive, one person did not wear a hairnet and ruined it for everybody else. So now they have to have one person in the hive designated for hair removal. It's the
Absolutely.
laziest job because there's no other hair getting into the honey. We can surmise.
Right, it's just
Right.
one. It's just that fucking asshole Brent who didn't wear his hair.
Yes, and we can surmise that he sits there, probably not even looking at the honey anymore. He's been here for years, in quotations, years, probably a couple weeks, and he doesn't do anything because there's never ever any hair. But
He
just
just
in
stares
case,
longingly into
just
the honey.
he stares longingly at the chromer
He just
to be one of those guys. But just in case, he's on call, awaiting like a firefighter.
he's an on-call hair removal technician.
I mean, plumbers do it basically for us.
Do you frequently eat your sewage?
I didn't say that.
That's the list of quotes.
That's a quote. You also frequently eat your sewage.
All,
Yeah, the sewage has been kind of rough this week.
It's called recycling.
No.
Yes. I'm
There-
here for that.
to change the subject, something I wanted to get to, when they start the tour and like they're turning into those seats are turning into the boats, it has 2 languages.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Spanish
true.
bees.
Yes, so there are different bee nationalities, different
Yeah.
bee languages, all that.
Actually,
So
Ty,
that-
do you
that
want to hit
mean-
on B-ish? Do you want to hit on B-ish real
Oh,
quick?
yes, I will. So, this takes that place after the hive, which we'll get some more points and we'll move on to another section of the movie. When obviously his mother says, I just hope she's beeish. Last year, we surmised that could have been, a take on Judaism or being Jewish.
I thought
However,
it was.
it's not.
Prob-
Because
Well,
with his interview of B. Larry King, he makes a comment to him of, they got one of you guys in the human world. He's like, yeah, it's a very common name. He's like, why wear suspenders and such? He goes, he's also Jewish, meaning he says
True.
he's
Judaism
Jewish.
and B-ish are 2 separate things.
Yes.
Yes, true. That's a good point. That's a
So
very good point.
his mother was making a race remark, not
Right. So we
a
got like
religion
maybe
remark.
B-ish, maybe Buzzian,
Yeah.
different genres of bee.
Either that or B-ish is a corpo religion.
That is
maybe
also
maybe
potential-
Hunnix is trying to push the new religion on him.
Well, that would be honey.
God.
That makes
That's true.
sense. That makes
Yeah, we've
sense.
already established that Hunnix is already B. Arasaka, so yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
could just say, yeah,
And- oh.
that's definitely a thing.
And because Hunex owns all the jobs in this place, this has to be like a corporate-owned hive.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
wait,
So it
crap,
definitely
they get
would
paid in
have-
scripts.
Yeah, so they'd have like an
Well, they get
actual
paid money.
religion that's built into
That's
their
right.
like
Hear me out.
system.
Hunnix is in league with Honey Farms, but it's on the hush hush.
I actually have a theory about that.
All right.
We'll
Oh,
get to.
dear.
Well, how about
Yeah.
we'll pause here?
That's a little down the road.
Let's now move on. We're going to take a big chunk of the movie here. All right.
Well, hold on. Are there any other notes that nobody's hit on? Because I have a few more for the beginning.
Okay.
I was
Beginning?
curious. At some points, I thought Barry's dad had blue eyes, but
He
at
wears
others,
shades.
I know he wears the
Black.
shades. But I thought at some point I had seen him, but his eyes were brown even past the shades.
That's called lazy writing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well,
it's
just
not
an animation error.
in the
Yeah.
animation, but he does definitely have those glasses that almost
Yeah.
tint them green
Mhm.
sometimes.
Right.
All right.
All right. Now, so one of the things that I noticed, this may have been touched on last year, and I didn't notice. The jocks, all of them have their wings, as in like an aviation pin. It
Ah, yes.
looks like the
Mhm.
pins that pilots have. I thought that was just
Okay.
nice little touch there.
Mhm.
They also all wear aviators.
That's
All of them wear aviators.
yeah.
Well, I think it's basically religion that you have to wear aviators
I-
when you're a pilot.
Yeah.
I want to say something about the jocks.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So Barry and Adam, and I guess his parents are all just able to just move their wings, fly, whatever. All of the jocks, for whatever reason, have to have their wings started like World War II plane style.
Well, it's
No,
because
It's like
Like
warming
World War
up
I.
before
Yes.
work.
Yes, yeah, stretching, yeah.
Yeah.
that, and
so
also
couldn't they just do that themselves then? They don't need to have like two guys come up to the other side of the wings and then like yank their wings.
but that's not as cool.
Yeah.
I know that's not as
Right.
cool.
And
but it's
also-
also not making me think that this is just stretching. It's making me think that bee jocks cannot fly under their own power. They
Well-
have to have someone start their wings for them.
There could be an explanation for that because
They
Barry.
make engine noises.
Well, Barry also says, or no, Adam says it's like you can't be a apologetic. You have to be bred for that.
Exactly.
They may be a different breed. Also,
Oh
point-
no! This is more eugenics.
I mean, obviously they are all different breeds because you got all the bee jocks, and then you just have Barry, who is just a regular worker bee.
Mm-hmm.
he's middle class.
They're
Let's bring it back, Lo.
wonderful bee classism.
Oh yeah. Well, they have a
Another thing
queen.
I'll note before we get too far off track. Barry, at one point, he wanders off after, they're standing in line for, oh, what job do you want? He wanders off, and then he gets a call from Adam, and he takes his antenna, and this is what he does. This is what he does. For those of you not watching at home, he takes his antenna, puts one by his mouth and one by the side of his head. He does not have ears. Why is he putting one by the side of his head? Barry B. Benson
Don't
does
be-
not have ears.
Don't these just hear with like their antennas?
Yes, so
anyway?
why is he taking his antenna
Well,
and putting it
Also,
down
also,
here
like
like he's
the
hearing out of his ear?
The other ears,
They
other
snap.
antennas should just be going up.
Correct.
For-
So
for-
why is he pulling it down? Is he trying to incite a poor connection so Adam can't find it?
Wait.
Well, also,
Wait.
yes.
Maybe it's more of he's preventing outside interference from it, so he's like making it so instead of being distracted by all the background noise, he's covering it closer to his mouth.
That's
So he's
true.
just
What,
hearing.
the Hunnix can't hear him?
He's tapping their antenna.
Hey, that would make sense.
This, like what? Hunnix controls everything.
Yeah.
Core production, honey production, jobs, everything else that makes the hive's life, I guess, fine or whatever.
So-
I gotta guess money as well. If we're just gonna say honey is their script
Honey is
system.
money.
Honey is money, so that's their
Every
scripts. So obviously, they're I don't know. Every bee, I guess, is just born with like a wiretap somewhere in their head. That bee cyberware. Hear me
They're
out.
putting microchips in their
They're putting
vaccine.
microchips in the bee honey.
Another point. In real life, bees don't hear. They only see and they communicate via like scent, I believe.
Right, they
And,
do. They
and
communicate
chemical
via
imbalances
pheromones.
in their
Yeah.
brains.
I think they can send vibrations because bees will also dance to communicate.
Yes, they will.
That is true.
It's true.
Another thing that further establishes that they are a different biological species to bees in
Right.
our real world.
Right, which is why I do bring up
Ah,
like
yes,
he
the
has
movie
no
bees.
ears, so why is he putting one by his ear? And even to the point of he's blocking out interference. He's standing behind boxes already, so all that would do is interfere.
Well, that's assuming that his antenna are like like antenna, like radio antenna. They may not actually be.
I mean, it's
for that
possible,
purpose.
but even if that is the case, again, he doesn't need to pull it down by his ear.
Indeed.
Or lack thereof.
Right,
All right.
exactly.
Maybe he's just seen humans do it and thinks it's cool.
they're racist towards cicadas as well.
Yes.
But all right, but he hasn't
That
seen
sounds about
humans.
right.
He's never been outside the hive before, so he's never seen a human.
Doesn't mean he's not seen movies with humans.
That's
Right,
true.
they do have TV, and this they did actually prove that bees watch human TV. And at
See,
the
Larry King.
end of first off, Barry B. Benson knows about Larry King.
Yeah.
That may be.
But that's because
established.
he's been
Second
he's
thing,
hanging out with
the events of everything that happened by the end of the movie are broadcast onto the
Yes.
bees' TVs in the
Ah.
hive.
And the bee reporters are there, meaning
That-
they would have
Yes,
had to
the bee
learn about
reporters
that.
are actively there with
to
the
get
human
there.
reporters,
Now there is-
broadcasting to the bees.
Now there is a hole in this theory, which is that all of this stuff happens after Barry has talked to Vanessa, which means at that point
true.
the seal is off and bees are talking to humans all
That
the
is
time.
true.
So I think at that point they probably started communicating and
Which
coordinating that.
I
sort of
have
stuff.
my theory about that as well.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit down the line.
Any more points before we move on?
I am solid. I don't know about anybody else.
When Barry B. Benson is about to go out and fly with the jocks, He signs a waiver.
Yes.
Bees can sue.
Yeah, we've
But
established
he
that.
doesn't
Signs
sign
an
it. He doesn't. He just
famously.
signs an X. He doesn't actually sign his name. He just. Yep,
Yes,
sure.
Ty did actually point that out as
But,
well.
but well, obviously they can sue outside of the hive. That they sue the humans, but they can sue within the hive.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're aware of that concept.
Obviously, I mean, why do you think they have a hair picker? Somebody got fucking
Hey,
sued.
yeah. Better ruin the batch for everybody else. Anybody?
Right, you already know his wages were docked for
Oh,
that.
okay. This is another little thing I didn't think of. So later in the movie, there's the honeybees that are being farmed for their honey, right?
Yes.
But in this part, this is just a beehive in Central Park. The humans aren't taking their honey.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
So
Who
Barry
are they-
B.
who are
Benson
they
is
making this honey
effectively
for?
white knighting for every other bee.
basically
Who are they making this honey for?
themselves.
The human race.
Yeah, themselves. They
I
use it
get
for their gas. They use it for everything in their hive.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right.
It's
Oh.
effectively their oil, their water, everything.
Their hair gel.
Right.
Yeah.
And then-
Can I
Sunscreen.
just ask one thing before we move on to outside the hive? They introduce what before they fly out the whole black and yellow hello thing.
Yeah.
What does that mean? They say this like what 3 different times in the movie, twice at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What is the significance of it? Black
This-
and yellow. Okay, and then everybody responds back with hello.
This is
what
like-
does that mean?
Probably in their school system that's like a thing that like a back and forth.
Kind of like
thing.
how I can possess every single public schooler by going.
That is true.
Yeah, basically.
Or-
Either that, or
You
he's
might
just
be-
calling everybody in his group a
Or-
cracker.
Or Carter. It's reference to Foot Locker.
Oh my
No,
god, it's
no,
Foot Locker.
no,
Oh my God.
no.
There's
Guys,
no meaning behind
Foot
it.
Locker.
It's no
It's
meaning at all.
Barry B. Benson is pulling a fucking Foot Locker on us, and we failed to
Oh
realize
my
it.
gosh, you've got us
We
again.
all right.
Unless,
I
unless,
don't
unless
think
it's
I don't-
referenced in the video game.
Oh no! Wait,
Oh yeah, it's a
Jason.
video game that IGN gave a 7 out of 10 on.
Whoa.
What?
Oh.
7 out of 10 for the B movie game.
I
That's
still
pretty
need
good.
to actually go play
That's
that. There
pretty
there
good.
should be one year where instead of watching the movie, we
Yeah.
go play the
game.
movie.
No.
We'll know who did it immediately because they'll be severely depressed.
Well, no, we all do it. That's not like the one where we all watch the movie and one person doesn't. Every single one of us has to play the
Okay,
game.
Alright.
we'd have to watch the movie in addition though.
Well, obviously, you play
And then
you
talk
play
about
the sound of it over like headphones, so it's like your background noise when you're playing the
we
game.
have to play it. We have to get as far as we can within the time of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I'm a
Wait,
completionist,
so that we just compare the two then, you compare like, oh yeah, I read the book and then watched the movie. I played the game and then watched the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
All right. Are we?
I
any
do
more
have some-
points, Lincoln?
root beer
Mhm.
causes dementia, or at the very least causes bee brain damage. I say weaklings. I just have root beer causes dementia. Weaklings.
I see.
Where did you
When-
get
when
this
was-
from?
Yeah, I was
this
gonna say.
was- They were talking about it sometime around the first scenes with the jocks.
I see.
I think it was like right before they went out to fly,
Okay.
because it was like a report of, hey, there are kids pouring root beer on bees. Watch
Oh
out.
yeah!
Oh,
I completely
right.
missed that. Good job, Link.
I heard root beer. So
Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright.
As he takes a swig of root beer.
No, it's not Pepper. No, wait, we can't say those brands on.
yeah.
You mean
Yeah,
nondescript soda?
Blopper blapper.
Nondescript soda. We'll edit
Okay,
that.
okay, no, they'll get it if we just say it's the best soda.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, shut up with your fucking ginger ale over there.
No,
Dr.
nondescript
Pepper.
ale ginger.
Ginger ale's got the name brand, dipshit!
You're Alaska Dry.
Exactly.
No, Alaska wet.
Yeah, yes. All right.
No, Alaska's very
Do we
frozen.
have any more points before we move on?
I do have some. We're talking about before he
Yes,
leaves
go ahead.
the
and
hive.
finish it.
Okay, so notes. Purple hive night simulation. Like, because I was noticing that the hive at a certain stage was not yellow. It was all purple and all glow. They have a nighttime feature.
Ooh.
It
Okay.
seems.
Fun fact, I do actually have a reasoning for that.
Mhm.
And it is not quite a glow per se. It is actually because in digital art you shade with purple or blue.
Hmm.
So it's lazy
So it's
animation.
just dark So it's just meant to be
Yes.
just
What
dark.
if it's like the Axiom from Wall-E? It's just like, someone like in Hunex just like flips a switch, screen.
They're living
Yeah.
in a matrix.
They're not living in a matrix.
I mean,
they're just
9/11
living in,
happened,
like
so-
a simulated like
you tell me.
Yeah, I would just imagine that.
Like
that they're doing.
obviously, since
Hold up.
bee lives are shorter than that of a human's, their days have to be automated on and off from the rest of the outside world. So the rest of the outside the human
Either
world,
that or it's Arasaka training them.
Well, my theory on that is that because it's a hive, they don't see the sun directly because it's
Right.
covered by the walls of
So
the
they have to
hive.
stimulate the sun
yeah.
with those lights.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just how they do that.
Ty mentioned something about the Matrix, and I just had this stupid idea that all of this takes place in the Matrix.
Oh my god!
Possible.
And
Barry
Also-
Benson is B Neo.
and also, the reason
So Hitler is
animals
Neo?
took so long to become sentient is that there wasn't enough room for the humans in the simulation, so they started putting human minds in the animals.
Oh god! Wait, the bear. Barry B. Benson turns to the bear in the core and just goes, "Oh, that's enough," and he just chills the
Also,
fuck out
that-
chill.
I
on a
have notes
dime.
on that
Also,
later
that's-
as well.
As do I.
Same. All right.
We'll get
any
there when we get there.
any more, Carter?
I do have some more. Not too much. But...
Oh, how many?
So okay, one.
Conspiracy.
So when Barry and Adam are talking, they mentioned that one of the bees had died recently, and then Barry is immediately like, basically like, who cares?
Yeah.
He was always a hothead. He know what's gonna happen when he's sting a dog or whatever. But
Sure.
I was thinking, he feels no pity for this bee that died. Further evidence of psychopathy.
Yeah, I mean,
Opposite, yeah.
obviously.
And this will come up a
Adam
lot.
doesn't seem to care either.
Well, Adam does at first, but then
Yeah.
Barry. He's
Adam was the one that
influenced
bring it
by
up.
Barry.
Adam's
Right.
the one that
So-
brings
so
it
The
up.
worst
Adam
thing
is
is that
a yes-
Barry is a very no. It's not even that. It's that Barry's just a very good speaker because we see
Oh no.
that Vanessa very quickly is on his side about everything. So he's a very persuasive speaker. You know who else is a very persuasive
Don't-
speaker? Adolf Hitler.
Yes, it all comes together.
But yes, I know what scene you're talking about because it was like, are you going to go to this guy's funeral?
yes.
I think Adam was fishing for something. He's like, hey, you're going to go to this guy's funeral. Like, we knew him. I think Adam was going to go, but Barry was like, that guy's a hothead. Let's not go. Adam's like, all right, sure. So Adam and Barry may have a dom and a sub relationship.
Don't shut up. Don't.
We will comment on that later.
No,
We need to
because
get through-
Adam at one point says that he finds a spider attractive.
Well, that does fit, but that would be
Spiders may or may
Yeah.
not be
wrapping
goth
you
in
up.
this universe.
That sounds more
Right,
like
but
I'd
even
do
That
so,
sounds
we
like
know who
sub
isn't
energy.
goth.
Exactly.
And Barry B. Benson is not a goth.
I mean,
So we already know that Adam is not into any man or woman who is not a goth baddie.
if that's what Adam's into, then more power to him, man. I can't blame him. I like spiders too.
Any more
Oh,
points?
so you're
Carter?
into goth baddies? Listeners,
Shrug.
he just shrugged at that. For
Oh,
those of you
maybe.
listening.
Any more points, Carter?
Let's see. Okay. Yes. The first bee law, which they really hammered down, is no talking to humans. Is this evidence of a bee conspiracy? Is the bee leadership secretly working with the humans? Is this a law for other animals?
It
If
would
so,
appear so,
why?
yes.
It's a pretty good point,
This is
though, because
Something that is universal across
Right.
all
Yes.
animals.
And why does it suddenly break down over so little?
right. Because it's like, first of all, Barry immediately goes against the law, so
Right.
we understand he's going against the law, so that would obviously mean that Barry has immediately become a felon.
Oh yes.
And
Absolutely.
in this particular situation, if we are to believe that it's a conspiracy between Hunex and the humans, it could be a situation where Hunex is selling off their subpar people as slaves to the humans.
That's very possible. That's very
Or
possible.
think of it this way: the bees are being shipped off to large
Shanghai.
collections and being gassed.
Oh my
Can we say-
gosh.
Are we saying that Hunex is not only B Arasaka, but the B Nazis as well?
Well, obviously.
Oh,
And
I'm
then
not
Barry
saying
proceeds to take over at this point because he's the one who pushes everyone to start changing things. So clearly, Arasaka and all of Hunex is Nazi Germany.
Alright,
thought we're
before we go
calling it Arasaka.
before we go down that rabbit hole, any more points, Carter?
Be Osaka.
Any more points, Carter? May we move on?
Let's see, I believe that is all of my notes for this.
All right. Does anybody else have?
I think I've touched on what I could remember.
Everything in the first part of the movie in the hive. We
Yes.
down.
Has been covered.
Yep.
I believe so.
All right.
Perfect.
Are we okay? Can we take a break?
Yes,
on
we
the
can take
sure.
we can take a quick
Okay.
intermission.
Go ahead.
Sounds
I- I-
Honestly,
I'd like to
he uses
point
like
out that-
random band.
I'd actually like to point out real quick because I did watch with subtitles on.
We should wait till Carter gets back.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's like serious for real talk, we'll hang.
We
on.
did watch. I watched the subtitles.
Who wants to play a campaign in the Beaverse?
No,
Deceiver.
Don't tell
No.
me that.
I don't know that I would want to subject any of my
I wouldn't want to run
OCs
it. I wouldn't
to
want to play
be
it.
Hitler. I don't want to do a
campaign is
beef
just
flavored
taking out
run of
Barry
Nazi
the
Germany.
The campaign is just taking out Barry.
Right. Yeah. Your ultimate.
We need to stop talking about this.
God.
We're gonna have to sit before God one day and confess our sins before the judgment throne.
Look. All right. I know it was a sin, but like you know, like we only did it once a year. You know, we all
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
just
really
once
funny.
a year.
It was all in good humor.
Okay,
I swear.
but the one thing you have to understand is because you're using all of that on this right now, that means you have to be a really good person for the rest of the year.
We're not Catholic.
Hey, I'm
You
just saying.
could
I'm
be.
just saying.
I get
I'm just saying. I
peace.
try to.
Yeah.
I'm not religious.
Catholic
I
name.
just try to be a good person regardless.
Right, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you're only good because a religion tells you to be good, you're probably not a good person.
I just try to be a good person because I hate being a bad person,
Right.
and I save all my rage and content that I hold for the students at UC when I get in the car and just fucking start pounding on my steering wheel like,
Yeah,
stop
you-
putting shit in the toilets.
You happen to your manual Kia Soul Sport Edition with a red interior.
Unexploded. Unexploded, by the way.
But it exploded, but it did get broken into once.
And it didn't blow up.
Nope.
Man, your security system sucks.
Yeah, shout out Link for being the only person not wasting all of his negative energy on this conversation.
He had a Toyota. He had an Ultima. He can't speak. They're
Hey.
next. They're next.
Had
door.
Fucking Ultima.
He did.
Yes, and it was a wonderful car that treated me wonderfully.
I never said that. I just say it's not next in the line to get exposed.
Here's started.
Yeah, go piss boy.
I will piss.
Yeah, piss boy.
Fuck.
No,
I
piss
just-
boy. Gotta go piss boy. Get outta here, piss boy.
Why are you so worried about the contents of his
Gotta
balls?
Don't worry about it.
I don't want it on my floor.
That's not where this is stored.
It's stored in the balls.
He is stored in the balls. How do you not know this,
Oh,
Carter?
man.
Did you fail
I
anatomy?
did fail.
What the hell,
He
man?
passed Star Wars anatomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can only understand it if it's shaped like a Venator.
It did.
All right. I'm thinking we'll jump back in with
Part
from
2.
yeah, well, from when he leaves the hive to let's see. We'll get to the part from when he leaves the hive. We'll open it up to spot up for Honey Farm up till he gets to Honey Farm.
That's a bit much because there is a lot.
Okay, well here, how about this?
I was gonna say a better option maybe between when he leaves the hive
to
right up to when he meets Vanessa for the first time. 'Cause
That's
there is
pretty-
a decent
that's
bit
pretty
that
short.
happens.
That's pretty
pretty
short.
short.
Because as soon as he technically leaves the hive, he gets stuck on the tennis ball and then he sees Vanessa. Technically, could say he meets Vanessa.
I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't really meet her though.
well,
Here,
pretty much they have that interaction, then they go, he goes there, he flies home,
How about
and then immediately gets caught in the rain, so he
Yeah.
goes to her house.
how about
It's gonna be pretty short.
I mean, fair.
how about we'll do to the part of
Types of, there's been a lot of like cheap desserts that I'll have at stores that I'll have like some sort of reaction to, not like a full-blown allergic reaction, but just it's
you
like
would feel like crap.
just really doesn't feel good.
All right.
Are you sure it's that or it's just the aura of Barry?
Welcome back.
It's like chocolate chip cookie.
You didn't get your Stein?
Well, yeah, you've
You
engaged
didn't
with
get your
this.
Stein?
What Stein?
You've
Your
engaged with
Stein.
Barry B. Benson.
How are you?
So he's constantly affecting you.
This was before I had.
Make sure
Well,
Dr.
actually, I
Pepper
may
When
have
did
seen
you
the movie
first watch the
before
B
that.
movie?
It's a good point, actually.
All right.
You know, that actually does line up pretty well. That might be why.
Okay, so we have understood that Barry B. Benson can make you allergic to food.
maybe.
What?
All right. Welcome
Wow.
back. Are we ready to get
I
going
won't
again?
elaborate.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Yeah, are we
This-
gonna
It is.
do anything to mark this?
It is
so that
just
we can
occurred to
I
me.
will. I'll
It just occurred to me that you bought me honey roasted cashews.
that's pretty
The
funny.
be all end all.
That's
Yeah,
funny. That's
yeah.
pretty funny.
Oh, by the way, is the
Honey.
makeup
Honey.
specifically more bee colored?
No, that was completely unintentional, but it
Gotcha.
does very much fit the vibe. For those of y'all who do not have familiarity with my face, I am wearing gold makeup.
Nice.
That don't have familiarity with your face.
I mean, I imagine most of the people listening to this don't know my face.
This is a timestamp. We
Actually,
are.
probably the only people listening to this are familiar.
Hey,
with
you
your
never
face.
know. We
Good
could
point.
get super famous in the future and then have so many
This
viewers.
is a.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, we good to start? Welcome back. We took a brief intermission. Now we're going to move on to another good chunk of the movie. This is going to be from the part of where Barry is outside the hive to the end of the pool dream sequence. I've got some notes here. May I start? So I have some interesting. I googled this because there is a point where after he gets stuck by a tennis ball and he is traveling through the street, bunch of cars and such. Here's some interesting things. Bees can fly up to 20 mile per hour, and they can fly as high as 29,500 feet. That's higher than Mount Everest.
Yikes.
They can do that. They can do that.
Wow.
Okay, so hear me out. They can do that. So later on in the movie, when the plane is involved, there's possibility. They can
Wow.
fly. They can fly. All right.
They just
Aside from the
can't
fact that they're moving hundreds of miles per hour.
Right.
Yes. All right. So
These are genetically modified.
He
bees.
is then, however, like we said, shot into the engine sequence of the car. I know somebody has some points on that, so
Yeah, we
we'll
should.
put a
Couple
pin
of
in
us
there.
do, I
We'll go
think.
back to it. During this time, he is blown out through the AC. The AC, the way it works in cars and that is there's a block of ice within the engine. That is not how AC works.
That's not how it
There's
works.
a
And-
block of ice in your car.
and
It's
the-
a bit of a
The
problem.
caveat into that, the family in there is they're doomed because they think one bee is going to distract every person in the car. Also,
It does.
their car is indestructible because that car smashes into two other cars. No damage on their car, by
Well,
the
it
way.
is an SUV.
Yes, but
I
there's none.
I
There
am
was
fairly certain
none.
it was modeled off of a GMC of the same
Okay.
time
Yeah, I
frame.
mean SUVs. I mean, we already know, especially in this day and age, that SUVs are designed with the intent of hitting small children.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, have you seen these motherfuckers? They're tall enough that a 2-year-old child standing in front of your bumper, you cannot see the top
my
of your
best
fucking
friend
head.
and I sat inside a Lincoln Navigator once. We thought this is just a fucking house.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, I get
I'm
that.
going to use my soapbox to say we need reform in U.S. emission laws. Okay, back to you guys.
All right.
yeah,
That was
our
that-
very big soapbox.
Yeah. May I point out?
Were
I
you the one who
understand.
didn't want to be famous 2 minutes ago?
You know what? If it gets us walkable cities and public transit made of trains,
I
am
will make
content.
Barry B. Benson Hitler famous for the sake of American
Okay, I
reform.
made it.
Let's put a pin in that and never talk about that again.
Okay.
Back to my point. I understand SUVs are made to take out small children, but this car, this SUV smashed into a taxi. Taxi, you could see it was crumpled where it got hit. This car had no.
Fucking hits of your nondescript
I-
soda over there.
I wasn't sure if this Bopper Pepper was going to explode or not.
But
Buy
the
Dr. Pepper.
the point
Diet
being is that
Dr. Pepper.
this SUV had none, not a scratch, not a dent, no
Absolutely
damage.
fucking
It
right.
smashes into.
It makes me think that this movie that takes place in 2001, before 2000,
It takes place in alternate
Alternate-
2007.
Okay, we'll do that.
Either or.
Because hold on. Well, no,
Alternate timeline 2007, where the Nazis won World War II.
What?
And we will.
Be in the high castle.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Sorry. All right.
Yes, 'cause
But
Do not say be in a high castle.
we will
I need
say
to watch
that this maybe the cars are made of a bit maybe stronger material, maybe like titanium,
Unobtainium car.
diamond.
They just have the one SUV
that
made out
or
of selenium.
it's made of sponge and it reforms without anybody noticing.
It's
Okay.
And it's natural cushioning.
I will call it. That's my first point. I will call, and we can talk about up to the car scene, and we'll continue onwards after that.
I want to touch on when he flies through the engine. I'm fairly certain, like, I had to like pause the movie, like rewind back like a few different times. When he flies into the engine, the car he flies into is a semi truck. When he flies out of the car, it is an SUV.
No, it was
No,
an
I
SUV.
I swear it was a semi truck. I had to like.
Oh, no, you're right.
He
Yeah,
flies.
because it's the pipe. It's a pipe up with the slant.
He somehow
hole.
transcends vehicles.
Whoa.
He just
you're right.
teleports between vehicles somehow.
Okay.
I don't know, like, if for some reason, like, for some reason
There is a possibility as well. So as we see Barry go through there, we see both fire and ice. Right before the ice, he's going through the engine. And
Yeah.
everything.
Goes into the piston.
And there's
yeah,
pistons.
he somehow
And
makes
they're slamming, they're violent, there's fire. Here's one of my theories that's not unlike a theory that was made last year. What if Barry died here?
Okay, I am a car guy. I know how this shit works. Barry somehow goes through the radiator into. I swear he goes through the radiator fan and somehow ends up in the valve.
Yes,
he
where combustion happens.
He ends up he squeezes through the valves, which like
There was a hole. There was a hole in there.
Yes,
That's right. There was a hole in the exhaust pipe.
So
So
that-
then theoretically he shouldn't have been sucked into the valve. He should have been blown out through the exhaust pipe.
But obviously, cars in this universe are a very different kind of car.
Yes.
My personal theory is that the entire B cinematic universe. Actually,
That's
That
all
is
of
a-
that. Hold on. I'm going somewhere, guys.
I don't like
all
where you're
of
going.
this ties back into the Cars universe.
Oh,
No!
And this is why he's not dead. It's because he's traveling through their internal organs, and humans have domesticated the car.
no!
But they also
What
blinded
the
the
fuck?
car.
Yes. That's how they domesticate them. They blind them. They tear their eyes out,
see.
so then they can force them to go where they want them to
Of
go.
course.
It just kills me because he somehow fits through the valve. Like when the valve opens, I'm going to guess this was like some kind of like GMC V8,
Likely, yeah.
something. So valves don't open very wide. Bees are like maybe about like this
Right,
big.
especially
No, they're more like-
Barry's
Barry-
size
yeah.
is pretty
Barry,
Guys,
Barry, I'm
holding
going
your
to
hands
look
up
about-
and going like this big does not describe to the
okay,
audience.
To give you
to be-
perspective,
to
our
be-
audience, he's probably about 2 inches tall.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna guess on on this water bottle, he comes out to about like the point where like it sort of starts to go like
That's
midway.
unhelpful for
That is
anybody
unhelpful.
who
Okay, so
cannot.
all right, so
It's
if you're
water
if
bottle.
you're watching,
2
just
inches
look
tall.
up Pure Life water bottles. I can.
Plugging every
Again,
fucking
I'm not trying to.
You mean
Look,
industry
this is
water
like,
bottle.
This is like not name brand shit. Who's gonna care?
It literally is.
Whatever.
High dollars.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever.
Anywho,
But
Yeah,
like
getting that bougie water.
because when they show Barry, at the dinner with having dinner with Vanessa, and then on the court stand, he and Adam fit like onto like those like little toy like doll kids
Right, they're
things.
like dollhouse furniture.
Yes.
2 inches.
So Barry is maybe about like half the size of a Barbie doll. If I
Right,
had to
so
guess.
we're looking,
No,
we're
this
looking
is
at about 2 inches.
This is these aren't like
This is
Barbie
not
sized doll stuff. These are like the really small.
Yeah,
ones.
it's like
'Cause you see 'em
actual
on a
dollhouse
tennis ball.
furniture.
Because the tennis ball is the one that's probably the closest size comparison.
Okay.
So he's about like
That
maybe 2 inches
counterpoint.
tall.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I've been saying 2 inches is because
Yeah.
we have other items to compare his size to.
Counterpoint. Barry's size is inconsistent throughout the movie.
That is true. That is true. But for the most part, he's averaging right around 2 inches.
About 2 to 3 inches, if I had to guess.
How big's the hive then?
I mean,
God, I
really
really don't want to know.
it does look pretty big in the still shots of
Like,
Man.
so
I mean, you have to keep in mind, there is, at the very beginning of the movie, there's a shot of a bear attacking a hive, and that hive is like this big.
yeah.
Even then.
like
It's
this
like,
big is not
Shut the
descriptive
fuck
to a
up! I
product.
was about to fucking say. It's about the size of like those big ass inflatable beach balls. So we're looking at like maybe 1.5 to 2
Yeah.
feet across.
Or an
Huge
exercise ball.
fucking hive.
Right, yeah, it's
So,
fucking massive.
That's
so
smaller than
if-
Barry's house.
Right.
So to
There's some
get
sort of
back,
non-Euclidean
Obvi-
geometry here.
Barry lives in an opening to the back rooms.
Do not bring the back into this book.
so to get back to the car, Barry is about 2 to 3 inches tall.
Yes.
They need to fix their car because I'm fairly certain this car has valve float. If Barry can fit into
Right,
the,
yeah,
I mean,
it's a
they already
major
need to fix the
problem.
car because there's an exhaust leak
You don't
right
know
at
what
the
that is,
engine.
Steve.
Like
No,
there
absolutely not.
there is already an exhaust leak right at the engine.
Yeah.
They need to fix it further because Barry, a 2 to 3 inch wide B, tall B, who cares? It fits through valves that do not open more than maybe about like a few centimeters on a functioning car.
Millimeters.
Millimeters even.
Yeah.
It has
As a
that.
whole,
It's got valve flow. This car looks to be like, I don't know, brand new or something, and it's already got an exhaust leak right at the engine, valve float. Maybe
what
the
we're saying,
timing
this-
was off.
this
I
car
don't know.
There's
is
ice
effectively-
in the
There's
car.
ice in
This
the
car is not being taken care of. This car is effectively, we look at all of the stuff that's happening to it. It's effectively malnourished. Again, bringing me
Oh,
back to
talk going back.
All right.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
But obviously none of this matters because the car is apparently made out of vibranium, according to Ty.
Right,
It has to
all
be.
the holes and shit. And
At least that
car
car.
fucking
At least that
annihilated.
car was. Maybe the taxi reformed
Wait,
itself or something.
Wait. Maybe the car that hit them is the domesticated cars, but the taxi that got crushed is a regular car.
That could be
It's possible
true.
they've been fully
That could-
integrated into society
That's
at
true.
this point.
They're unbeknownst to us, to them, to the
Yeah, I
humans.
mean, like I said, this is far enough in the future that they could have rebuilt from that post.
Far enough into the future of the great land of 2007.
Wait, alternate version
all
of
know
2000.
alternate
2007 was our
version of
prime.
2007.
Alright.
Date in 2001 didn't happen.
I feel like in the coming years, I'm going to look forward to the B movie and absolutely and utterly dread the discussion.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds
the
about
B
right.
movie is gonna seem sane compared to our conjecture.
It does.
Yeah.
It does seem safe.
That's
Anywho.
the easy part, yeah.
Really quick, before we keep going, I do want to say because one of my first points in this era is a bit before the car scene. It's when Barry first goes into the tennis court.
Mm-hmm.
So he's here with a bunch of jocks. Barry's not really sure what's going on. The jocks have been outside the hive most of their life. They were bred for this, as they mentioned in the beginning part of the movie.
Yes.
They were bred to be outside. They've been outside multiple times. They even call Barry a rookie. How do they not know what tennis balls are?
Maybe
That's
they
a good
haven't
point.
flown into
Yeah.
that part of Central Park before.
That
They've
is
definitely
true.
been there. I mean, they've had to have been around a lot of this park.
That's
I
true.
mean, but
Because they're
sort of-
they're the only hive in that park.
That's true.
So maybe and
So they don't know what
excuse
tennis
my
ball
B-ish.
So-
They make a beeline for that one.
No,
for that one flower patch that they go to, and then they
Well,
notice.
but then nothing else in that park would be pollinated.
Guys, I have a theory. This all happens in spring. they haven't been outside the hive. They're young enough so they haven't been out in the summer when people.
That is a fair.
Bees
Okay.
only live a couple weeks.
Exactly.
These are newer bees.
Exactly.
But our jocks worker bees are drones because
Yes.
workers and drones have two very different.
They would be
lifestyles,
drones.
life cycles.
They would be drones. Pollen collectors.
Okay, so
Well,
how,
there's
how
no-
long
We've
do
we've
drones
established
live
that the drones are not bred the same as those who go outside of the
That's
hive.
true.
And again, to my point, I will specify they're not flying very long before they get there. They're only flying for all of maybe 5 to 10 minutes
They-
inward
20 miles
on,
per hour.
on screen. They're only flying
They-
for maybe a minute.
They also, may I point out, during that flight scene before they even get to the tennis court, Barry mentions as they're flying through kites, box kite. How do you
Hey,
know what a kite is?
kite is?
Right.
I was thinking that myself.
Well, also the point being, I think they just know because, like before they took off, the general was saying, "Gotta watch out for rain. Gotta watch out for kids with root beer." So they
old,
probably
so he's a vet, I guess.
Yeah, they've got PSA announcements.
yes, but that also means that they are monitoring the human world, getting reports of weather.
Right. Which
Connex-
again,
Connex
how do they
makes
not know what a
cameras.
tennis ball is then?
Maybe
Especially if they're learning from this guy who has supposedly been around for a decent amount longer. How do they not know what a tennis ball is?
true.
Maybe they just
Is it
haven't
that the
concerned
drop-
themselves with it.
Yeah,
Is
but
it-
the second they touch one, it's sticky, it's tactile. They have to rip themselves off of that.
Well,
Barry almost
also
dies.
pointing out is that there's a
But he
voluntary
turns off
time
later.
here of tennis courts are
Right,
not
I mean-
always used.
In the engine.
Indeed.
So tennis courts are not always used, and maybe they just have never come across it before. And also, a lot of stuff they were reporting were things that were dangerous to
Yeah.
bees.
Pretty slim.
They didn't know what a
Yeah.
tennis ball was, so they can't consider it a danger.
Yeah, because how likely are you as a bee to be hit by a tennis ball?
That is true.
Knocked out of
We
the
are
sky?
Florida
There
bees.
was one time in the MLB where a pitcher hit a bird with the ball on
Ah,
the pitch.
But that's
Oh,
a
that's a
bird. And we all know birds are government drones.
But think about it. Maybe there's a little
Stop
chance.
collecting conspiracy theories.
What
chance
what
that
next
a bee
year-
has been hit by a tennis ball before.
Right,
but
I'm
he was,
saying there-
but he was
it's
a lone
pretty
jock, so
slim
therefore he
chance.
dies.
Yeah, and there's
So there's no evidence. I
Okay,
guess.
but case in point, they did talk about the deaths of certain bees, so at least somebody would have missed them.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's not like they
keep
don't
records.
simply, lose them like a regular insect does. They do have ties to each other. So, because they even referenced somebody who had died earlier in the movie. So somebody would have missed him.
and
they
the
have
job
really
boards.
close ties to each other
Correct.
because
True.
everybody
they would
in
know
Hydro
when a
apparently
jock
cousins.
dies because they would have to replace him.
And also a point here. Let's just we can say the jocks are equivalent to the Air Force. To our Air Force.
Functional, yeah.
Yes. I don't know what the Air Force is like. I've never served a day in my life, but I'm very certain they would
Slacker.
The
Yeah.
closest person, the closest person here would be Link.
Yes.
Wow.
This is not
No,
stolen valor.
Genuinely.
Well, my brother's in the Air Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
we're
okay.
that's what we're
So that's
referencing.
why you
So,
would
so
know.
what are you questioning about this?
I guess my theory is that they have some sort of scouts that scout out ahead and get the information for the Air Force,
I think it
the
would
B
depend on
Force.
the
I will say
situation.
the B Force. Maybe the scouts are just really bad.
Maybe they suck ass.
maybe the scout that went out to that part of Central Park just got hit by a tennis ball and died.
Or maybe
It was an inside job.
maybe the
I will
Playing the
continue to
tennis
collect
ball.
conspiracy
Stop
theories.
collecting conspiracy.
What you believe in the moon? It's made of cheese.
Ah!
I thought it was made out of honey.
I think your brain is made of cheese.
No, it's honey.
Uh-huh. So you're like Vanessa.
Oh no.
Oh, we haven't gotten that part yet. We haven't met
Oh, we'll
Vanessa
get
yet.
there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Also, a point during the tennis court where Kent was magnificently about to beat the fuck out of Vanessa. You're about to. The bee cleared his throat. Went breaking a bee law.
Yep.
That was a noise, and Kent heard it.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Meaning they are
He's
very
not heard-
good ventriloquists.
Yeah,
They can
they've
project
not-
their voice.
Yeah, and they've not heard anything else that they've been saying, including Barry's screaming.
Yeah.
They heard his,
But apparently,
his cough.
yeah,
That also raises the point later on when they're screaming on the antenna of the
Yes.
truck. Yeah.
Yes. What do you hear? Do you hear that?
So-
Sounds like tiny screaming. Turn off the radio.
Right.
That's not how that works,
Yeah.
by the way. The antenna is a separate button. I'll go down that later.
So okay, so what
I mean,
this
it's possible you could have hit both.
what this tells us is what is probably the most
Unlikely.
likely thing anyway is the cough wasn't what distracted him. It was just a coincidence.
but he only reacts after the clock.
Better-
Could
And
be
he
something
will
else
in the direction
after.
of
that
the bees.
or
Something else.
Kent is
be playing-
portrayed as a bad guy in quotations.
He's not a no,
but
he's
he
not.
is
Well,
a
no,
real.
he is a bad guy because he doesn't like Star Wars.
That's true. That does make
yeah,
him
but also-
But to be fair, in counterpoint of that, he is a proponent of man-made things, meaning he is against AI, and in
That's
our currently AI
That's
market,
true.
Ken would be a supporter of banning AI.
I will also say that this could be that Kent is portrayed as a
Also,
bad guy.
Ty, you keep calling him Kent. His name is Ken.
Ken, I thought it was
K-E-N.
K-E-N-T.
No, it's
No,
K-E-N.
as in like the Barbie doll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
So
I
give me
would
the
say.
Ken doll.
Oh,
So,
Well,
this
clearly your
is-
brains are all smoother than a Ken doll's downstairs. So
I've been
Yeah.
watching the movie for like the last several hours. Give me a break.
That's several hours. You only had to watch it once.
I really like this movie.
How much times do you want to kill yourself?
You don't want to know.
I forgot to mention, I watched the B movie. First of all, I pirated it because, of course, I did. I'm me. Second of all, I watched it at 1 a.m.
Why did you just announce that on the internet?
That'll be fun.
I don't think we're
Who
gonna
cares?
track down Lincoln.
I
never
bought it
know.
with my hard-earned American
Well,
dollars.
that's
There,
your
so
fault.
did I.
I didn't have to because
I rented
I
it
watched
on
it with
YouTube.
Ty.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, in which case I have access to a Netflix account.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh,
on
it's not
Netflix.
on
I
Netflix.
checked.
It's
I
YouTube.
have Netflix.
It's-
I
it's
checked. It's
only
not
on
there.
YouTube.
One of these
Really?
years, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you have
watch
to pay
Paul
for
Blart
it.
Mall Cop 2 instead of
It's
the
not free with
movie.
I rented it on YouTube.
Same.
But is it also free with ads or no?
No.
Yeah, it's free
Yeah,
with
it's
ads if
not,
you rent
it's
it.
not free with ads on YouTube.
Oh.
It's preview only on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching a lot of free movies because it just says free with ads, and I have an ad block because I steal from everyone.
Why do you admit
You
this over
fucking
the
criminal.
internet? Granted, we are
Yeah.
talking about
How
Hitler. I
come-
don't think it's that bad.
How come one of the most devout Christians commits the most crime?
Well, look, all right, look.
Well, you're the
stealing
only one
stealing from the
announcing your
corporations
crimes.
is not a crime.
Yeah.
That's still a crime.
Let's not go down this rabbit hole.
The good natured.
Okay,
Anyway,
It's still a crime.
it's only a crime
Anyway.
because it makes them mad.
Or if you get caught, which, anywho. Let's not go down this rabbit hole yet.
not like
We're
that.
all here for the conspiracies, but everything else is complete bonkers.
Should I not bring up my tax fraud? No.
That was a
Okay,
joke.
okay, guys, to pull
Don't
us
give it away.
pull us back in here. So, Barry does eventually he reaches Vanessa's.
Yes.
okay.
One of the things I noticed as well, and it really doesn't mean a whole lot, but I did notice that either Vanessa or Ken has been to Mount Rushmore because they have the little snow globe that's like a little memorabilia from Mount Rushmore.
That is true.
I'm
And
gonna guess-
also,
It's probably Ken.
yeah,
I was
'cause-
gonna say Vanessa because she
Really?
apparently just has the money to fly to Pasadena on a whim.
Okay, before that,
which
No,
she was
but
planning for that.
They
She
break
was
into
planning
that.
Yeah.
They break into that place. I'm
They
pretty
did.
But
sure.
they had still needed the money for the
Yeah, they
plane
still needed
ride
money for
there
the
and
flight.
back.
But she was planning to go there anyway. It just got moved up.
Oh.
So
Right,
she
that is
had
a
the
fair
money
point.
aside.
So she's been saving.
Yes.
Mhm.
And also, I'll point out, it was probably Ken because in his brochure, hiking is one of his
Yeah,
hobbies.
and actually,
right.
if we want to go over that real quick, Ty and I did pause to
Okay.
read his
Nice.
brochure.
Yes.
Now,
Oh,
not
God.
much of it is visible, but a lot of his talents are pretty amusing. Ty, do you have any of them written down?
I don't think, because I made my list before yours.
I didn't have any of them written down,
Oh, man.
but I do know a handful of them. One of them is interviews, specifically job interviews.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah. Yes.
Another one of his skills is rollerblading.
Yeah.
Making pamphlets.
Yeah.
I think Ken is my favorite character in the entire
He's the
movie.
only
Absolutely
one.
best character.
Him and Barry's friend are the only ones with any sense of normalcy.
Yeah.
It's just he's my favorite not only because of that, because he's just so quintessentially a Patrick Warburton character.
Yes.
He's the perfect Patrick. Because I've seen The Tick. I've seen I've played Skylanders when I was a kid, so I know some of Patrick's work and everything. And he
Yeah.
was Kronk.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yep. You
Um,
didn't recognize the voice?
All I could think of was the Yo Mama guy.
I don't think that's Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, but I
Yeah.
had some similar voice.
But he's like the Patrick Warburton character. Like he was written specifically for Patrick to play this character, and I love that is probably the only reason he is in the movie.
See, and then another thing right on top of that too, because the thing she does, because where we read it is when she's like moving Barry outside.
Right.
Both Ty and I noted this, and this may have been said last year. She did not need to rip the brochure.
Yeah.
You could have just
We know
folded it back up.
Yeah.
If
Or
you're
just
that
use it as
worried
is.
about it, you did not need to rip
That
your supposed partner's hard work
Right.
to move a bee.
During an interview.
Yeah,
He's using it.
he's actually using
I don't
it.
think it was an
Think
interview. I
of
think it was just friends.
It was
Right.
No, it
a
wasn't.
friend.
Oh,
Think
It was
of
just a friend.
Think of it this way: maybe Vanessa and Ken's relationship was already strained.
I mean, I
It
think
was.
it's
And
kind
like
of
Vanessa-
a given.
That
Why
or
is yogurt night so difficult?
that
Yeah, Vanessa also says it. Like, she's like, maybe I've been feeling like this for a long time, or something along those lines.
Something
Right,
is
but
bugging me.
apparently the only thing that seems to make her realize how much she doesn't like Ken is how badly she wants to fuck a bee.
well, but, so this will segue into my theory. Okay, so
Oh,
all right, I've got,
I don't
I've
like
got a
that
couple more
smile you
points.
just gave us.
She did not need to rip the brochure, and you even hear Ken go, "My brochure." This obviously something that he cares about. Also, as he is leaving, he's like ushering him out the door. He's like, "Yogurt night on Thursday." She's like, "Yes." He's like, "If you want it to be more healthier, put in some carrot chips." And proving that Ken is very, smart about his physical health and is caring for
Right, like
Vanessa's
Ken
physical health.
objectively is like built.
He is
you know?
he's built well, and he's trying to help others be healthier. Also, the
He
point.
doesn't do it in a patronizing way either. Like, granted, that's a fucking sociopathic suggestion. Who the fuck
Puts
puts
carrot
carrot
in
like,
yogurt.
It's frozen ice. It's basically ice cream. It's
Yeah.
frozen yogurt. It looks
Right.
like ice cream. It is in an ice cream container with
He
yogurt.
buys froyo and puts carrot.
So,
in it.
like,
you pronounce it.
sociopathic
But
suggestion,
also-
but it absolutely isn't
Yes.
patronizing. Like, he's clearly saying it to try and be supportive.
Yes, he's trying to be supportive.
Because they both live an active lifestyle. They're both playing tennis together. They're both doing active things together.
Yeah.
Indeed. Also, he falls into the guacamole. So they were eating guacamole. The son returns. Barry's got I gotta say thank you. First of all, you technically don't have to, because
You're
he's
also
breaking the
not supposed
biggest
to.
law.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But also, when she puts the guacamole away, guacamole needs to be refrigerated. Correct?
Yes.
She puts it in the cabinet, meaning they have non-perishable guacamole. Now we might have something like
But
this.
you
He's just
should
an
put
idiot.
it in uncovered too.
Yes, she doesn't cover it back up.
Wait,
And
wait. Maybe this is her trying to get Ken food poisoning.
maybe.
Yeah.
She's trying to get
But
that insurance
well, no,
money.
we didn't see Ken eat anything. It was the friend that almost ate the chip.
Well, she
with
probably
me,
was
to be honest.
anticipating them both to dig in a little bit,
That
and he
is
just
true.
didn't, because she
Um,
wasn't expecting him to be so excited about the brochure.
That's
So,
true.
so is she trying to just kill them both?
I think she wants an easy
So
way out.
Ken's excitement about a brochure thwarted her plans of
Effectively,
murder.
yes, and that's why she was so irritated that she tore the brochure.
Exactly. Okay.
Because she
All
was
right.
upset he hadn't eaten
also-
the already poisoned food, which means that in this case, if she was hoping for it to kill him, there is something in that food, and that friend he brought over is probably dead.
But we do see that
No,
friend
he
later.
didn't eat it,
comes
though.
back
We
later
see
in
the
the
friend
movie.
later.
Yeah, he does. He comforts Ken. Also, Ken only has 2 outfits:
That's
suit and
true.
tie and tennis clothes. I'm just gonna put that out there. Also, when Barry finally speaks up and is like, "Thank you," and such, she's like, "Can I offer you some coffee?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to put you up." Meaning he knows what coffee is.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
it is a plant.
And yeah,
But bees use honey for everything.
yes.
So
Honey
All right.
coffee.
And also,
Instead of, and I did actually bring this up. Instead of putting water through a coffee machine, they put honey through it.
yes.
wow.
And also, the point being, Vanessa stabs herself with a fork.
Yes,
To think
yes,
she's
she
dreaming.
does.
We saw that, and we there was barely any marks left. There was no blood
or
whatsoever.
anything.
So hear me out. My running theory. This is
It's
obviously the
wrong.
Brooke.
It's wrong.
You don't know that. I'm going to tell these guys.
certain.
So Vanessa is an android piloted
Stop
by,
collecting his family.
piloted by a bee
Aha!
who created the laws, but they didn't want to be ruled under those laws, so they left.
So the bee
And-
elite do this for fun.
Yes, and hear me out. She's using Ken as a good cover to remain undetected in
course.
human society.
Here's
which
my
is
significantly better theory.
I'm still going. I'm still
got
going.
nice theory.
And may I point out, that's why she caught on very quickly to Barry, because at first, personally, if I realized the bee spoke, I don't think I would get over it within a couple hours in a chat over coffee. I feel like I would be kind of concerned, maybe calling my local governor.
Why would your governor care about bees
I
talking?
think the governor's just gonna think you're a crackhead.
Michael Wine would just be like,
true.
yeah, dude,
That's
sure.
That's true. Anyway.
Yeah, way to drop
but
the
also the
local
point being,
address, dog.
there was a reaction that Vanessa did to something that Barry did. And I can't remember the part, but I mentioned it to Brooke. I was like, Vanessa's not reacting because of the situation. She's reacting to something that Barry did. She's not reacting how a normal human would react in this case. I think it was when Barry
Well,
first
she
said
lives in
hello.
New York, so she's not a normal human.
Well, but she's I think it was when Barry first said hello. She didn't react because Barry could spoke to her. She's reacting that
That he did.
I thought she was reacting
He did
because she thought she was the only person in the house.
Yeah. Well, no.
No, she
because,
knew she wasn't because Ken shows up later on in the scene.
Yes.
Not that scene.
that-
no.
Not
He
that scene,
left.
no.
He
left.
Because
He
they
does
go
come back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
they
yeah.
go
Not
because they
in
go
that-
to the,
not
go
that
to the
day.
roof.
Let's
Yeah.
stand the light man.
Right.
Where's
Which
my favorite guy?
I have a comment on the roof scene.
Yes.
In a
Yeah.
minute.
We'll
I
get to
do
that in
too.
a minute, though, because I have
Alright.
to go over my fucking theory
After
about that.
all right, so Vanessa is an android piloted by a former bee, which is why she gets stabbed. She doesn't bleed and barely takes any damage.
Mm-hmm. More to that theory of her being undercover. Yeah, her being undercover. Ken probably doesn't seem like the person who is focused on or very particularly intelligent. He may not understand female anatomy very well. so he's going with him because he knows that Ken's not going to realize that she's not a
He thinks
actual
the
human.
only difference between men and women is whether or not they have a dick, and so when she
Yeah.
can just smooth down there,
Yeah.
he's like, well, that's just how women are.
And to my point, Vanessa is a florist, working with flowers daily. If you're a bee undercover, the one thing you know
that's
or may
true.
know about is flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know
True.
it because if they're not, if the bees aren't supposed to know about humans at all,
It's the perfect.
how are you
cover.
gonna make it in the
hate all
world?
of
Here's the big reason why I don't agree with that is because she would have understood the consequences of the lawsuit before
that's
it happened.
true.
Well, no, she
Unless it was-
she made a comment on that. She's like, I hope we're doing the right thing before they threw the letter into the mailbox.
Because they also comment initially that that her parents wanted her to be like
A lawyer?
A lawyer.
Yes,
So obviously, foreshadowing.
but also I don't think her parents
That may be a
exist.
cover story.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think her parents exist. That
We never
or
I mean,
Her
you don't see a
parents-
lot of things.
her parents
And I'm
are in the farm.
Wait, does this mean that Vanessa is a Hunex android?
She's
Yeah.
a Hunex
Yes.
plant.
She's a
I
Hunex
wasn't
android.
Maybe-
gonna say
oh,
plant.
oh.
Vanessa is Adam Smasher.
Yes!
Yes, Carter.
I lost my train of thought.
That's not right. We'll come back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's a scout drone.
Oh, feeding information to the
Ooh.
hive.
I didn't think of it that way.
Because she wasn't, like we said, she wasn't surprised that a
If
bee could
that's the
speak.
android
She-
theory-
that
if
he
the
did
android theory
spoke and
holds
broke
up.
a bee law.
Indeed.
I mean, she created the bee law.
Yeah, if the android theory is true, then I could definitely see it being a situation where she's a scout and she's harvesting the
I
flowers.
hate that any
Hang
of
on,
you are
hold on.
talking about this with any
She-
credibility.
she's
Quiet over
harvesting
there,
the flowers
pirate man.
as a test. She is testing the flowers to see their quality.
Yes.
But anyhow, if that is in fact
That is all
what
I
is
have.
happening-
Yes, let's
Now-
hear your theory.
My personal theory, and this is why I don't think she's an android. She stabs herself. The fork goes through her hand. It does.
Yeah.
You see it go almost all the way through her hand, meaning it has punctured. If she is an android, there's no way it could have punctured that. It's a fork.
Depends
There,
on the...
there are some robots that exist that have softer.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it does go through her hand enough that I think if she was an android, it would have hit the metal or whatever plastic component is inside of her.
Maybe.
Which is where my theory comes in that she is in fact not an android, but she is a vampire. Because keep in mind, in certain vampire mythologies, some vampires do not have blood.
But she goes out in the sunlight there a lot.
Yeah.
Sunscreen. Sunscreen exists
Lots
now.
of sunscreen.
The
I
other,
don't
my
think
only
SPF
other
wants
thing,
one to save the vampire.
my only other thing here is that I think that she has been around long enough that she already knew bees could talk.
And she's still more surprised that the
Well,
bees
she
talking
acts
to.
surprised, and that leads
Because
back
it's-
into his theory as to how the fuck is she so chill with this after such a short period of time.
Yes.
It's because she already knew.
Yes, she's not shocked about that the bee is able to talk. It's that he's
Correct.
talking, breaking the bee
So
law.
it's the same theory, but a different reason.
I
But
would like
mine
to
is
address
better.
the fact that humans do have a surprising skill of rationalizing the irrational.
Right.
So-
Plus, and here's my other issue with the android thing. How did they build an android without anybody noticing?
It's Hunex. They keep
It's
everything
everything.
quiet.
Yeah, but they would have had to make it pretty large, and they would have.
Coordination with the humans.
Yes.
That is possible.
Honey farm.
Honey farm.
Honey
Yeah.
farms.
Indeed,
That is
follow the honey.
possible. That is
And
possible.
also,
And she is their main method of transport.
all right.
Oh, of course.
Ooh.
That's their liaison.
There.
So actually,
we
when she
go.
met Barry, her initial thought and the reason why she was so welcoming is, oh well, you know, this one's trying to get out. This one's trying to expose things. I need to quickly take care of this. And that is why she was so willing to leave Barry alone with Ken for so long. Because she knew what Ken was trying to do.
But then why does she rescue him?
Yeah.
Because she has a last minute change of heart.
I see.
Because
But the vampires are
Hold on,
cold.
that day.
I'm talking right now about the android theory, not the vampire theory.
Okay.
So within
Oh,
the
right, yeah.
So
android
he breaks
theory,
toe.
True.
because she at heart is a bee in this theory.
Yeah.
And she goes, I can't murder a fellow brother like this. This is just downright
No,
shameful.
no.
Oh, yes.
My
I can't
th-
bring herself to let it happen.
No, my
Right, like
theory.
it's shameful. Like it's not even like a proper kill. It's just me kind of turning and looking the other way. This is shameful.
Why didn't she kill Barry back before Ken would have just smashed him with the winter boot?
Maybe
Because he
maybe
hadn't
she wanted.
spoken.
Maybe she wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted to do it herself. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why she
Well,
gives,
no,
her, gives
because
him a bit
he
of like,
hadn't
like
yet
a pound
spoken.
cake or whatever.
Yes,
it
but
was.
that reinforces mine because I didn't say she was an android. I said she's an android being piloted by a bee.
It's more
Meaning,
of a mech.
yes, a mech. We could
Which
say.
is why I could understand that theory.
Be
But like I
done.
said, the biggest things that I don't agree with are just the fact that with stabbing herself, I feel like you would have heard something like a thunk, or like you would have seen it interact with something, or the tips of the fork would have come out.
I don't. Well, here's the thing: is she put her hand on the table and then stabbed herself with the fork, and the vibration. If it's metal, vibrations
The
are
look I
better
just got
on
from
metal,
Lincoln
and the
is
sound
great.
went through the table. You could hear.
You still would have
You could
heard
hear
it though,
True.
because you don't hear any sort of thunk. You hear sort of a soft.
True.
Guys, can we move on?
All right.
I think Link is famous.
One brief thing. Unfortunately, that basically disproves most of these theories. Is why would she stab herself?
I want
to make a show of her not being a plant.
Or a bee.
It's a tactic used to convince Barry that she's human.
I've
Right.
got.
I want
Let's
to.
see.
Can I comment? I want to comment something on the when they're talking on the roof, when they fade in. Barry is telling her a joke,
Yeah.
and she clearly does not get it. I want I want to just say real quick that this scene was not originally in the movie, and that Jerry Seinfeld was just telling was just telling Vanessa's voice actor a joke.
And Vanessa saw the director in the
since
background.
nobody finds Jerry Seinfeld funny. Her voice actor, whoever her voice actor was, was like, yeah, and so then I guess that's like they forgot like their mics were on or something for that, and then the director just said, "Screw it, it's in the movie now, animated."
Yeah, no, he was telling it, and Vanessa saw the director behind Jerry Seinfeld.
Behind.
Yeah, keep it rolling, and she was like, "Oh, this is in the movie. Is that a bee joke?"
Yeah,
And
sure.
then Jerry Seinfeld finally realized he was being watched, and it was like,
No,
No, like that scene was not originally in the movie, so it just had to be fucking.
Well, it was at that point Jerry Seinfeld was turned into Barry. And then they went to film this entire movie.
he's what's the word?
Transmogrified?
No, it's the
Polymorph?
no method acting. Yeah.
That's me.
Thank you.
acting as a bee.
Man, another.
He went to a witch to be turned into a bee.
Let's see.
The witch was confused.
The other
Normally
thing
they
I
don't
want to
ask
say
for
about the
this.
rooftop scene too. So, and again, this is what makes me question the whole bee piloting a mech thing. Is
This is the only
Pardon me.
thing that makes you
this is it's another thing that does. And it's that if she is a bee, why the fuck did she give Barry an entire mug full of coffee and not like a thimble?
She's undercover. She can't blow her cover.
But like, even a normal human will look at that and go, a bee is not going to drink a whole fucking mug of coffee.
But-
Especially since she gives him
no.
a crumb of like
Right.
a pound cake or
Like,
whatever
he
it was
takes
later.
a crumb of it, splits it in
Yeah.
half, and puts it in his pockets. Which, by the way, he doesn't have pockets until he uses them.
That's true.
Hammer space.
But-
He's got hammer space.
But also the point being of Vanessa at that point in time is the only person to have talked to Bee because they haven't gone to court yet, so nobody knows bees can speak. The only other person up there is Stan the Light Man, and I've got
He is absolutely dead.
Okay, you. Stan, Stan.
Yes, he shows back up in the court scene with the bear.
Yes, he
Okay.
does. Okay, so he was
They
not
may have just
unconscious.
been reusing his model.
Right.
Twin brother. Twin brother.
Stan and Flam, but
So
no,
that bear is actually a necromancer.
but no. Stan, the Light Man, is the most sweetest man. All he is there to do is just replace a light bulb for a rooftop entrance. The most unnecessarily thing ever. But the point being is he looks over, sees Vanessa, he doesn't see Barry. The Barry's hard to see in the shot because I don't think
Yeah.
he's there.
Right.
And she's like, just having 2 cups of coffee. And he then watches them shake hands. He's confused. He's screwing in this light bulb. The light bulb sparks, explodes, and sends him flying off a ladder. The amount of energy required and the amount of fucked up fuckery for a light bulb to combust,
Mr. Electrician.
and I am, and the amount of
We've all got our expertise.
so.
Mine is
100,
retiring.
120 volts,
Yeah, we've
120 volts, which is a normal outlet and a normal light, is enough to kill a human being. For a light bulb to explode, it needs to exceed, I think, 150 something of watts. Meaning, you have to have a surge of power. Meaning that wire in that pipe going to wherever it's connected has to be crossed with a wire of 240 volts or more. Meaning,
I've got a theory for you on that. But
and
continue.
meaning what the copper has to be touching. But the problem being is 240 is a lot more energy than 120. Meaning, well,
Almost double.
yeah, indeed. But it gives off more heat as electrons travel through not even through the copper wire. It goes around the wire. It heats up. It's a byproduct of electrons moving. So it melts the wire, meaning that wire should be glowing red hot, melting away as we speak. There should
Right.
be no
Right.
electricity whatsoever. Further proving my theory that this has to be a different universe with so many backwards things
different
that electrons do not give off heat, meaning it is breaking one of the laws of physics and
I
thermodynamics.
do actually, again, I have a theory for you that solves this.
And at that point, it shocked Stan so bad he flew off, died, and some energy may have resided within his heart
Of
and
course,
shocked him back to
resurrected.
life
Yeah,
at a different
Still
point.
got like blast.
Well, no, this was when he was being taken to the morgue. He forgot who he was, and then became a bear handler.
Matter of
is how-
days, by the
Which is how he shows up back later in the movie.
So my theory as to the whole wire situation, I think that you're actually right here about that. And that no, I'm no electrician, of course,
No,
as is evident.
I'm not either. But
you say that as a trained electrician.
I'm an apprentice.
Same fucking difference.
I haven't been to school yet. This is all I've learned on the job.
Still,
It's
you
actually a
still
lot.
are actively
Indeed.
working as an
That's
electrician.
true. That's true.
So, my theory is this conversation's it's happening up on the roof.
Yes.
Meaning Vanessa has chosen to leave her apartment, mind you, with her purse, all her belongings.
Oh, God.
And Ken is supposedly still in the apartment.
Ken is not.
No,
still
he's
in the
not.
apartment.
He's not. He
by
left.
this point.
Oh yeah,
Because
that is
remember,
right.
he made the yogurt chip comment, and
Yes.
she kicked
Oh,
him out
that is
for
right,
the
that is right.
sacrilegious that
So
it is.
my theory is that she, in her lack of understanding of how wiring works, has gone in manually and has attempted to effectively
She couldn't wait. For
cause a wiring problem so that when Ken returns to the apartment, it causes him to either A, set something on fire, or B, shock him to death.
Yeah, this is a hitman accident kill.
She doesn't understand enough about wiring to do it properly, so what she's effectively done is just fucking wire trapped this poor man up on the roof.
That's how the light bulb went out in the first place.
Yeah, this is the third guy.
Stan does not fucking slack, though. Stan doesn't slack, so he was up there in a matter of, 30 minutes to an hour, because he very quickly saw, oh, this is fucked up. And effectively thwarted Vanessa's intended plan of killing Ken.
Beloved character Ken.
I raised you a tertiary theory.
I was correct. I did this some Googling. A light bulb is
Jerry
rated
Seinfeld
for
has confirmed this.
120 volts for residential light bulbs, but applying a voltage of 240 volts doubles its rating, causing it to explode due to rapid overheating and pressure. So I was correct. It had to be sitting on a 240, meaning she took a 120 panel and just swapped the wire to a 240, which, in the case for a lot of apartment buildings, are right next to each other, because
Right.
the washing machines that we use every day require...
And who would be more likely to use a washing machine? The person who is just kind of, hanging around a flower shop, or the guy who does a lot more physical activity and thus sweats through
Like
his clothes
Ken.
more?
Okay. To raise you a tertiary theory,
Because that's what we need.
by all known laws of aviation, bees should not be able to fly.
Okay.
But they don't care. They fly anyways. My theory is that bees,
Electrons are the same way.
bees radiate a psychic field whereby physics does not apply to them, and they can edit it in little ways.
More
Let's
specifically, you're really close to the truth there. It's bees with blue eyes, Ken.
Only bee psychers can apply.
The reality is that Barry understands that he's finding out over the period of this movie. That's really what the subplot of this entire movie is it's hinting at it the whole time. Is that Barry has these super bee abilities, unlike any other bee in his hive, and the only other person who knows is his father.
That's
which
why.
is why his father gets on him more about finding a job within the hive.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want Barry to unleash his horrible powers on the world.
Alright, so
And that's also why he survives the engine, like being burned by the.
Correct.
Indeed.
That's why the AC has an ice cube, because that's what Barry thinks an AC is.
My, yeah.
So the field gets so the psychic field gets progressively larger over the course of the movie then, because initially it's just about the size of the small engine inside the block or whatever.
Well, it's the angrier he gets is the more effective it is, because once he enters the honey market,
But
once he enters the honey market, he becomes just outrageously angry, and that's when you
Jerry
really
Seinfeld.
see his abilities start to affect other people, like later on in the storeroom.
That's true.
You want to drop your little inside
yes.
info real quick?
I
and we'll
will.
get
I
back
will
to-
point this out. We're supposed to be done
I think
about
we're gonna have to
9:45.
we're gonna have to extend it by another
Yeah.
hour.
I am down to that. I will start that. I will say after I talk about this, I say we all go through all our stuff we've written down, and then
Oh God.
Yeah.
we'll go through all the
I've
stuff
only
we've
been
written
through the
down. We'll
first
read off
three.
all of our quotes that we chose, and then we'll go back and anything that resonates us, we'll keep talking about, just so that we don't take 4 hours. Because I'm only not even halfway through my first.
Yeah, same deal here.
Okay,
so
so-
conspiracy theories.
I
I
will.
have double digits of notes, and I'm only 3 in.
So here's what we'll do. The store guy. When he is confronting the guy that the store guy, who's probably a low-level crook.
The Mexican guy?
Yes. He is here. I sense him. He knows him. Okay, so he knows.
So he can smell
Yeah,
bees.
yes, but also the point being,
We can
Barry
smell
is suiting up. He's
I can
putting
smell
Sharpie
bees.
on himself. That's not how Sharpie works. But he steps in a puddle of honey, which is above the ceiling. How did that get there? I want to know who is eating honey up on the ceiling on the break. What kind of Spider-Man ass shit is going on here?
Just
Probably the guy who could smell bees.
Yes. Okay. And also, he is here. I sense him. He then says, "I knew I could hear you talk." But also, the way this guy talks and the way a lot of the evil henchmen talk in this movie are as if they know they are doing something illegal,
Yes.
illicit,
Yes.
taking from the bees, meaning
Yes.
they know they are in cahoots with something.
They
What
also
could it be?
sound
So what we
Spanish.
understand is this is all vegan propaganda.
That. That's true.
Okay,
Um,
but for some reason, a lot of them sound Spanish as well.
That's true. I think that's called lazy voice acting.
I don't know, but maybe there's another conspiracy theory.
Never
in
know.
that one, too.
Here are some of my. Here I'm going to start with my quotes. We'll move to Jason, and then Carter, Brooke,
God.
and then Lincoln. All right.
I have an ongoing theory that I'll talk about at the end. It's more of a small.
All right. Here's my quotes. Stan the Light Man is dead. The Paul and Jocks were the only ones allowed to go outside. But Barry then knows. Barry keeps sneaking outside of the hive to see Vanessa again. And then an M80 is a 1/8 a stick of dynamite. I googled this. That's correct. They are illegal. They are illegal because of that reason.
I did also look that up.
During the dream sequence, as he is losing oxygen in air in the pool, his dream sequence with Vanessa, who is in Central Park, we can assume. Maybe. I don't know where this park is in New York. I don't think New York has a nice woodland, expansive tree park, but we'll go
Central Park.
What this is
Central Park.
Literally Central Park.
Park. She does the heart and crashes into a mountainous rock. Where is this rock? How did it get there?
It is a fabrication of history.
Okay, and then
She explodes twice, by the way. So she explodes
Once when she hits the rock.
explodes on contact, and then the glider is already burned. It's destroyed. It's burned.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing left of it, and it explodes a second time.
Yeah.
In
And
theory,
it is
all
at
the
that
gas
point
exploded when she contacted with the rock.
it's at that point he yells Vanessa, I would point out. Not when the
Just
first
like-
And
explosion
then
is.
starts
But-
drowning in honey.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then-
Jason, for reference, our theory last year was that actually the reason why everything after this point is so unhinged is because Barry actually drowned in that pool.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so a car engine couldn't kill him, but drowning in honey.
Well, yeah, because
What a way to
in
go.
the car engine, he was coherent. He was still paying attention. He's like, oh, well, obviously bees survive car engines. That's what it's going on in his mind.
Yeah, he still had his.
He's a
still
psyker.
Thought
He's-
he could
Right,
make it through
but
the
when he
engine.
was
Psychic
under
powers.
in that honey, he's comfortable. He's used to the environment, and then he slips into this daydream. He's no longer paying attention to his surroundings. He's so caught up in the daydream that he
His
doesn't
powers
realize.
are only in the dream.
Yes, he is
Either
so
that,
calmed. He's no
or
longer
he's Freddy
raging
Krueger.
with anger. That he has completely lost his ability to survive any event that would befall him.
Either that or honey nullifies their psychic power.
Which would make
The
sense. why-
Hunnick's conspiracy continues.
I will also point out this is now in the grocery store scene. There's cereal called Zod. You get a free bug zapper with every purchase of this.
What?
Yes, look it up. It's on the box.
Yep,
Wow.
it's
There's a honey huddle up high. The honey farm truck's wheels are comically small.
I did know
Alright,
that too.
The bad guys bring out a new smoker. When they bring this out, the smoker has rust on it.
Look, they don't give a lot of money to honey farms,
I don't know.
work-
I mean, it could be new in the method that it's recently acquired and not physically.
True,
Yes.
true.
There is
Yeah.
also that part.
During
a hand
the
from a better farm, I guess.
after
Yeah.
they plan to sue
basically.
on
They're the
the
subpar honey farmers.
after they plan to sue, they're on the bee news and the hive. One of the things that passed by is bee beards. No more bee beards. Which shows a picture of bees coercing on a man's face.
Yes, which is an actual what's it called? Guinness World Records. thing.
Okay, interesting.
So then that theoretically means because when news companies do that like in real life, like those are like past shots of like
Yeah.
past events or whatever. That means when that world record was set, that the
The
bees who talked to that man to set that world record
They didn't talk to that man.
But obviously they had to because
Which
he
is
was
why they-
comfortable with it.
No,
No, people
no.
do that in real
They
life.
said no
Bee
more
beards is
bee
an actual
beards,
thing.
meaning they took those bees prisoner to make that.
I see.
Which is why they're against
they,
it.
They
Right,
drugged them.
precisely.
They didn't
Yes,
use the
with
smoker.
the
They
smoker.
used smoker. Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Which is
Ah.
actually cheating for
Um,
that particular
All right,
thing.
we
Give
are
us-
on pause. Link is
Inter-
now escaping to go relieve his
Intermission part
little
2.
piss boy body.
I've only got a couple more bullets left, and then we'll move on. Yes.
I'm gonna count how many bullets I have left.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna be on you for a hot minute.
Dude,
Well, if we're rapid fire,
we,
right?
we keep having conspiracy theories.
Well,
Right, absolutely. We keep going down these
12,
sort of rabbit
I
trails.
say just for the next part, let's just rapid fire them. Try not to comment on too much. And we'll come back with the ones
Very
that
good
really.
idea. The ones that really like you said, the ones that really catch our interest.
Yes. So we'll just rapid fire them next, and then after we're done with the links, we'll then somebody can throw out a topic they want to talk about.
Yes. I have 21 that I haven't
Oh
done
my
yet.
Hold on,
God.
let me see.
And some of them are...
You just really
Paragraph.
didn't fucking like the B movie.
They're not all good. They're just notes.
See, if I I knew if I started taking notes, I would start looking for animation errors because I was
one. I found one. Talk about it later.
I was fairly certain. I was fairly
Most of them are
certain.
coloration.
I was fairly certain
I
during
have
the
34 bullets.
during. I was fairly certain during the dream sequence when she first gets into the glider and takes off. I could have sworn she clips through like 3 different trees.
Very possible.
Like I get
Very possible.
very possible.
Carter's pears.
I've died.
Here you go, Carter. There's another water.
Oh, I do not require it, but thank
It-
you. Oh, man.
Like at some point, I was gonna stop like looking for like just like story inconsistencies or something, and just we'll start looking for animation errors.
I see. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I have 29 points total.
Most of mine are from the like after the suing stuff happens.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the
They're,
the
like,
consequence
during
phase.
Yeah, during and after that. There is still plenty before that, though.
Consequence phase. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like eventually this group is going to get to a point where we effectively treat the B movie as if it's a constant and updated social commentary.
I mean, yeah, that's what they did with Till Death Do Us Part.
Of course.
Effectively, yeah.
He-
And
he-
we're
he was
definitely going to
fine.
be in the same boat.
Mhm.
We need to see if we can get anybody who voiced any of the characters in the B
Jerry
movie
Seinfeld?
to make a little comment on our
Ridiculous
podcast.
plot. We have to get one of the McElroy brothers. Well, somebody
I don't think the
somebody
McElroy brothers
babysit
were
it for one of them.
involved
We
with,
have a way in.
That is true. We do have access to the McElroy brothers.
we can obtain the McElroy.
We also, in a distant roundabout way, have access to Markiplier. Yes. One of the individuals who is not here today actually knows the person who made Markiplier's wedding cake.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
that's a connection that we can leverage in any
Okay.
way.
No,
I
not
don't
in any
know.
way. That's why I said very roundabout way.
Mhm.
Okay, so Vanessa's voice actor was somebody called Renee Zellweger.
Zellweger?
Zellweger.
Is it Ziegler?
Zellweger.
Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger.
Why
and
do you
I-
stutter every time you say her last name?
Because
Zellweger.
I-
Do you just
Zellweger.
think
Well,
he's
it
that
has-
hot?
because it
He's
has-
that hot?
it has 2 L's and 2 E's.
and now I'm going to actually see what else she's been in. Mostly,
Is this Vanessa voice
Mostly
actor?
the
Yes.
Yes.
mostly live action things. She was in Chicago, Me, Myself, and Irene. And recently, she was in something called Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy.
Well, she probably stopped doing animated movies after the B movie because she realized how much of,
Yeah.
how much
she
of
was in
a
Shark
terrible
Tale.
effect it had on her.
Alright.
She was in Shark Tale, but that was 2000.
It's not any better. Anywho, timestamp. Link has returned.
Indeed.
And we are ready to get back on topic. Yes.
Indeed.
All right. Here, back on topic here. I have B Jesus, B Columbus, and B Gandhi. And Barry says Jewish, so that it
Right,
means it's
right.
different than B-ish. Vanessa is a traitor to mankind. But we can talk about that later. Barry knows a bear friend during the court system.
Right, they talk about how much they hate bears.
Yeah.
Yes,
They,
I have
they-
notes
they
on that
just
later.
never
Yes.
Right.
cover that at later.
During the murder scene of Kent finally having enough and trying to take matters into his own hands, there's a lethal setting on the shower head.
That's great.
When
Again,
Because
I
it was
will
exclusively
continue
for
to
the use of
attest
weapons.
Oh,
that yes, that's exactly where I was
when
going.
Barry's friend Adam stings Mr. Montgomery, instead of going to a bee hospital, he's taken to a human hospital.
Despite the fact that Barry does mention they have
Yeah.
hospitals.
Yes.
Yes.
Casually gasses bees in court.
Yeah.
He's playing the species card.
Indeed.
When they are taking back all the honey, the ATFH is on the helicopters, meaning they
Oh,
have
right.
the ATF, has
but they had honey.
honey.
Right?
Indeed.
The princess that was on The Princess and the Pea goes to talk to her manager. She is dead.
Yeah.
She is dead. Vanessa murdered that lady.
Yep. Absolutely.
There is a V6 engine hidden in that parade float.
Yeah, because it is keeping up with the other cars.
JFK, no, it's going
through-
faster.
That
They're
car,
weaving.
that car has a insane center of gravity. Center of mass.
Considering it's made of flowers.
It's tall.
Yeah, JFK Airport news is on the BTV when they report in for some reason. Okay, there are in our world right now there are 3.5 trillion bees. The amount of bees required to lift a plane is 3.6 billion, and
Where did you get that number? I googled it. No, you can't just say I googled it.
But okay, and also the point being, this is better corroborated because when they're trying to land the plane, they're talking about the flower, and he's like, "What flower? The flower made up of 1 billion bees," meaning 3.6 billion is possibly there.
But it could also be a situation where, we as people continue to say, oh, well, there's a million different reasons
True,
why.
true.
It could
Okay,
be
I
something like that.
want to talk about something when
Yes,
Vanessa,
I have 3
quote
left.
unquote.
I have 3 quotes
All right.
left.
Yeah, give him his last 3 and then we'll go
They
on.
cut off the engines to go in on B power. Vanessa is pulling the gear shifts back and forth. It is still moving the plane.
Right.
How?
Not how a plane
At the
works.
end of the movie, Vanessa's flowers, honey, flowers, and legal advice. Barry is claimed to not be a lawyer. He's a prosecutor, not a lawyer in the court scene.
Correct.
And then Ken needs to sue potential customer for Barry.
Because their lawyer is effectively Vanessa in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but Vanessa, I guess
Well,
Vanessa's
it
part of the
seems
legal
like
team.
Actually, Barry
and
is
then
the lawyer in that
Ken-
one.
Ken needs
He's
to
he's
sue.
representing all bees.
Ken needs to sue Vanessa and use Barry as the lawyer. I feel like that'd be a good soap opera. And those are all my points. What are your?
I
your
really
points?
want to talk about flying and under bee power and Vanessa somehow controlling the bees under the plane.
Right.
Yes.
Like
There is no airflow over
Right,
that.
Barry
runs.
so in that scene, who's actually controlling the bees under? Because this actually might have something to do. Because I think Barry might be transgender.
What?
Hold on.
Wait,
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Hang on, I have a better theory, but we'll get to it when you're done.
How does that help?
Okay. All right. So.
Barry's secretly a queen.
All right. Yes.
That's why he has blue eyes.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. So when Barry is telling Vanessa go for all these controls, do all these directions, she's doing all of this stuff with the plane, but theoretically she is not actually controlling the plane because they're going in on bee power. She cannot communicate with the bees. Barry can.
Right.
And they very clearly say that at the end is just like with the flower changing color is just think bee. Okay, so that bees having a hive mind going to the flower.
Mm-hmm.
Barry is psychopathic. But Barry is psychically telling all of the bees that are on the plane to fly in.
Yes, they're seeing through his eyes.
They're seeing through his eyes, which leads me to believe Barry is a queen. which is why his eyes are blue. And your earlier theory on Barry's dad being the drone that found the current queen.
Right,
Barry
so Barry
is-
was the next queen.
Barry was the
in
next
line,
queen,
but
which
he
means
decided
Barry-
to transition because he just felt that he wasn't actually the queen.
Or he hasn't reached that part of his life yet.
That is possible.
You can discover
But-
you're a transgender well beyond
But also-
high college.
May I point out, if Vanessa is indeed a bee piloting a mech,
Yeah,
would
this is
know.
what I was going to do. That's actually, this was my alternate theory, and it does actually give some credit to the Vanessa being a body being piloted by a bee, and that bee is a queen.
which created the Queen
Because
of
we've also discussed that drones
all
will
from
die if they're away from a queen.
Do you have to say that with Trump hands?
They would
Die without a queen.
All right, let's not get political about real life. All right,
I don't need a Trump bee showing up. At
Not
my
yet.
door.
Not yet.
That's in the
Yay.
that's in the second.
That's
movie.
a me movie too.
All right, let's get back on track here. Any quotes? Go through all your quotes you have, Jay, if you have any.
That I think at the moment that is like the biggest question I just
Okay.
had. Is like, how the fuck are they?
All right, we'll
Yeah.
pin that. Carter, would you like to go
Carter,
through all your notes that you've
Okay.
taken?
You and your 27 fucking notes.
I had more.
21.
That's,
I
less,
counted.
that's less notes than I had for
Well,
last
that's
last
not.
time.
That's ones that I have left.
I had
to do.
34.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't you already do 3?
I already did 3, so
All
I have
right.
24 total. Okay, so 3 of them are from the dream sequence. So Barry laughs at his fantasy girlfriend murdering another bug. Still definitely psychotic behavior. Barry is not just romantically into Vanessa; he is actively horny. He uses the word lust under his breath when
Yes,
discussing
he
the
does.
emotions bees feel.
He
Why
does.
did Jerry Seinfeld feel the need to hammer this down so hard? Barry kills a bug unnecessarily and laughs. His psychotic nature is no longer hidden. This is when the radio is going down.
Yes,
He knocks
yes, I
the
know
other
what you're
bug
talking about.
off and then laughs.
Ha-ha!
Exactly.
Yes.
When they could have just, both held on. There wasn't anything stopping him.
Right,
Or
there
one
was
could have held-
definitely enough hand space for both
Yes,
of
but
them.
he specifically kills the bug. He gives an opportunity to do so.
Also, that cricket was alive.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
died again.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack.
It's his fault.
This is more of a weird one. All of the news bees have intros that include their department, including anchor, weather, or sports, except for the only female bee for some reason who
Well,
just has
yeah.
their name.
Keep in mind, they also give her a very specific appearance. She's the only female bee that does not have a beehive hairdo.
Does she not?
Huh.
She does not. She, in fact, has a
I
very
thought-
specific haircut that if any of you watch Family Guy, the
Oh.
same reporter has.
Is it
And-
she voiced by the
And
voice actor?
this bee is the only one with an Asian name.
See,
I
what's
I
that
did
mean?
start to
Is it just
realize.
because it's a
Trisha
reference to
Takanawa.
specifically
I don't
Family
know
Guy?
if it's a reference. I don't know what, but it's very clear because, like, she's given that pin
Right.
straight hair.
Yeah,
same
it's very
hairdo.
much meant to be
Same hairdo.
representing an Asian
I
person.
did start to think like when they showed like all the girls like admiring over all the jocks, it was just like doesn't it like won't any of those bees just look like Barry's mom?
Yeah, they all have the same hair.
They all have the same
Right.
haircut, and
Yeah.
it took me a bit. It's just like no, Barry's mom has.
Are you
glasses.
saying all bees look alike?
Maybe.
Racist!
Venus. Anywho,
But yeah, I thought it was odd because she's part of the anchor studio, so you'd expect her to be introduced with the anchor guy.
she's a co-anchor.
Token
Indeed.
woman, actually.
That's
This came out
The
before
vibe it gave
Anchorman,
off,
so they
but
did
yeah.
not have awareness to this yet.
But I thought Anchorman took place in like the 80s.
Okay,
Oh,
another
that-
thing. Oh, go for it.
That makes sense why there are male worker bees, as opposed to them just being drones that go off and do whatever and die. There was the civil rights movement, except it was a men's civil rights movement because female bees are the dominant.
Of society, of course. That makes sense. Men's suffrage, yeah.
And we can't. Let's keep going on these books. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Female loneliness epidemic.
Oh, man.
Anyway. All right, Carter. Please continue on to your note.
Okay, another one. This is all from the court scene. Judge Bumbleton,
Yes.
likely biased towards bees. Is she perhaps married to a bee?
And that could also come in place. Maybe Vanessa's half B.
Indeed, it's possible.
We don't know her last name.
True. That's true, I think.
Could
Probably.
be Vanessa Bumbleton.
Oh my gosh. That's even more corrupt.
Well, her name was Vanessa
or it could-
Flores.
No,
No.
that was
No,
the
she's a
name on the
florist.
sign. I was about to make the same
She's a
joke. and say
florist.
Might have
Her
been.
last name is
It
Flores.
may have been Flores as well, though. She may have been Vanessa Flores, the florist.
No, it says florist on the
Okay.
Yeah,
sign.
it's because
There
she's
might-
a florist. That's
yeah.
her job.
But it also wouldn't
Flores.
surprise me if it is her
Vanessa
canonical
Bloom.
last name. Bloom? Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Okay, nice.
Yeah, so pretty much on brand with
Yeah, it's a pretty run brand.
okay. Yes. Another note. I don't think Vanessa's voice on theme. I don't think Vanessa's voice actor puts a very good performance.
Neither did
Well,
Jerry
probably because
Seinfeld,
the
so-
voice actor
Yeah, I
has
don't
to
think
pretend
yeah,
to be
Jerry
in love
Seinfeld
with the
doesn't
There's
do-
like
Can also be a
movie,
bee and a
Jerry
bee
sounds
man.
like, and parts where Jerry sounds like he should be screaming. He's just like, ah,
Yeah, the two of them, they're just
ah.
really not doing it for me. They're very bizarre vocal choices.
Again, the weird love story too. I think doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't
The
help.
only voice actor who put any form of effort into it was Patrick Warburton.
Yes.
I
The guy
will
who
get
does,
behind that.
what's his face?
Mr. Montgomery.
No, well,
Montgomery,
yeah.
Montgomery.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Really, I would say everybody is, really putting the effort in except
The
for
main
Yeah,
characters.
Like
yeah.
everybody else is really thrilled to be.
Yeah,
a
I
part
mean,
of the
Adam's doing a
production.
good job. He's the closest thing to a main character that's putting in the effort.
Right. I really enjoyed Adam this watch. I
Mhm.
gotta say, Adam really was putting in the work.
That's good this year. Yeah. Yeah, I think it just has very bizarre vocal choices, even considering that she's a lunatic, just generally. Another note, when Adam is in the hospital, which doesn't really look like a hospital. I had a lot of notes on this thing.
Right, especially because you wouldn't put a smoking area outside the
Yes, that's
On
exactly what I was
ground
gonna say. They're just people smoking outside of a hospital room,
Right, and
like
also
right next to
outside of the hospital, it looks like a fucking alleyway.
Well, no, it's not, because it's one of those box things that has a walls around an area and that has a courtyard area.
Yeah.
That's just empty.
Right.
So it's just
it just doesn't.
So
it
they
doesn't
just
really make
took him
sense.
to one.
Well, no, you can see an
geographically.
ambulance back there, meaning they have a pull through
Oh.
for cars to go
I did
around.
not catch that. Okay.
But
There's an ambulance
that's
going
also
around.
not where the ambulance should be, though. The ambulance should pull around into an ambulance bay. It should not be just sitting there.
It
True.
should be sitting around
What
the
kind
ER.
of sketchy
the-
ass
Indeed.
hospital
Also-
is this?
And New York.
looks like
How
a
hard is it for hospital rooms to be on the ground floor?
Absolutely not.
Unless it's made
I've
in
been-
ER.
I have been
In which case he's taking an ER slot.
But also,
I have been
yeah,
to children's hospital
Well, he
many
was gonna
times.
die.
They do not
That is
have. They do not have any
Also-
any hospital rooms. on
they're
the
at a
ground floor.
human hospital, meaning they had a human surgeon work on a bee.
They did surgery on a grape.
I
They
mean,
did.
yeah.
They did.
A duck walked up to a lemonade stand.
I'm gonna hit you with a brick in the head.
That
Right.
rhymes.
Bum,
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 bum.
bum.
Ow, my skull! Hey,
Get out of my
Hey,
head.
you get out of my head.
Get out of my head.
You get out of my head.
Okay, well now we're just doing Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway.
hit us with some more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I had smoking right outside a hospital window. That's definitely a violation. Is this
Right.
even a hospital?
Right. What crackhead's basement is he in?
Right. Another thing I noted is the world's thinnest dresser, because in that room, this room is like a very not very wide room, very narrow room, and there's a dresser that's just like full height dresser that's just like you can barely fit anything into. Look for it next year.
I will say there are actually cabinets built like that, and they are used in medical situations. It
Gotcha.
could be a cabinet designed to store medical tools.
Or
Yes.
bees.
Or B.
Yeah, it doubles. This room doubles as the bee morgue.
That makes sense why they took him here.
to die. So they stored his dead friends in the same room.
They were hoping that they could transplant one of the dead bee's stingers onto it.
That would make sense. That would make sense. But instead, they found a toothpick.
Of course.
Not even a toothpick.
Yeah, no, it's one
No,
of those.
it is a toothpick.
I don't think
It is a
I thought
toothpick.
it was
but
like,
Oh,
it-
that actually
put it in
was
the
a fork.
sandwich to hold
Yeah.
it together.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
you hold them together, and you can also use them as toothpick.
makes
Because if
sense.
you see at like regular delis that aren't themed, they will use a regular toothpick in the center to hold them
It's the
together.
same thing
Right.
as those umbrella toothpicks.
Right,
Correct,
right.
yeah.
Those use for
Right.
drinks instead.
Yeah,
right. Okay, so what's the
Why
purpose of
are you
those
so
ones then? I guess.
Garnish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
pretty much.
Okay, another thing. Adam is definitely going to overdose on honey. Just
Oh,
'cause it's an
absolutely.
entire
There's
thing.
so
There's
much.
more honey than his
Pushing
body
a
mass.
button.
Yeah.
He's
Right,
addicted.
it's like morphine, basically.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yes.
meant to reference. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, why does Adam go from half dead at the start of that scene to completely fine at the end of it and being sent to stall the courts? Like
right.
he goes from like he's just laying there,
Right, like he's out
of it,
I'm
and then
dying.
literally when Jerry leaves, when Barry.
I think it's implied that whole day has passed at that
No,
point.
no,
No,
no, it's
no,
not.
they go
In that
right
scene.
back.
So
Scene.
yeah, so what
Huh.
happens at the start of the scene? He's laying there like half out of it, and Barry comes in and brings him
A flower.
I forget, a flower, yeah. And then at the end of that scene, Barry's like, "Oh, flowers, pollen, or something like
Stall
that."
them, stall 'em
Yeah,
as long as you
and he's
can.
like, "Yeah, you." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do something. You go to the courts and stall him as much as you
Huh.
can." And immediately he leaves. And then the next scene is him in court showing everybody how to make those like
Paper hats.
paper hat boat things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So he's,
They-
I
they-
think he's acting. He's not actually as badly injured as he seems.
They established earlier on that Barry had to ride a truck in order to get to Honey Farms, correct?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
How fast do bees actually go in this universe that Barry is able to leave the
Right.
hospital,
FTL.
go
FTL
straight to Honey Farms, steal, I guess, one of their smoke guns,
Well, that's why
and
they had
then
to stall.
Yeah.
and then run
Right.
straight back to court.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanessa went with them, I think.
I mean,
No,
you'd
Vanessa was still there in court. Was she?
No, she came in with Barry.
You'd be
Because
so
Okay, right.
Barry can't
Right,
hold
yeah,
the
because
gun.
she comes
Yeah.
in with the thing
Yeah.
like a gun.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
he can't
yeah.
actually lift that.
Right.
That's
Okay.
true.
So,
He's not very
then
strong.
Vanessa also
Because
apparently
of the time he
commits two
slapped a
crimes.
person.
That's true.
Vanessa commits theft twice in this movie. Then
More than twice.
Keep
More
in
than
mind,
twice.
Vanessa also has for slapping a person. Vanessa also has the dexterity to slap a bee in just the face.
And also, right,
That's precise. Very precise.
right. That's like about to smack someone's eyelashes.
also
I
the
like.
dexterity of the Mexican guy and also the strength
Yes.
of Barry that they're able to have a sword fight with a flag tag.
For the record, why is he using a sword fight? Why is he doing a sword
Back
fight?
him, it's done.
He also isn't in that much danger because it's like the bee stings him and he's like, "Ow, yeah," but the bee dies.
Right.
The bee
Right.
dies.
So even
Why
if
is Barry
Barry
even
did
threatening?
get a solid hit on him, he'd be fucking
He's
dead.
right.
He's playing chicken.
And there's no way he can get to a hospital because that man's not going to take him to the
Definitely.
hospital.
Just crush him with a shoe.
I just want to know is just did that guy that they were talking about at the beginning of the movie actually die if Adam is able to sting someone as large as Mr. Montgomery
Well, yeah, I mean, they're having
in
a
the
funeral
ass, by the
for him.
way?
Yeah, they're having a funeral.
Also,
But
he had a
is he
neck
actually
brace.
dead?
He didn't get that.
I don't think the neck brace
That's right. He
Baby
didn't get the hunt fiend. Right.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead and hit us with some more.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Barry is very racist towards bears, even though we got help from one earlier. He,
So it's just slavery.
yeah. He even orders one tranquilized via sniper rather than letting them peacefully eat a small amount of honey.
He orders specifically Winnie the Pooh
Yeah.
tranquilized.
Winnie the
Exactly.
Pooh, who would actually go out of his way to not hurt any
Uh-huh,
other
yeah.
animal.
Right.
He specifically
And it's
tries to not hurt honeybees.
Right.
Right, because he's like, how am I going to get honey if I hurt the bees?
Yeah.
Mhm. And they, on top of this, they could just go up to him and be like, "Hey, don't eat that honey. It's not legally yours
Because he is
anymore."
Winnie the Pooh. He understands human
Yeah,
language.
but
Yeah.
no, they don't even. They're like, "No, we don't have time. He's gonna eat any of that honey, so let's shoot him with a sniper."
Also,
Right.
This is the
point
ATF.
proven.
Yeah.
No, ATFH. Point being. So, I don't know if anybody here has firearm experience besides me.
I do.
Sort of, a
You
little bit.
do not mount a laser on top of a scope. Yes. And Barry is on top of the scope, telling the guy,
Where
"Take
was
the
a laser
shot.
pointer
Take the
on
shot."
Winnie the Pooh?
Well, I didn't remember that it was mounted to the scope.
And he's like, "Take the shot." And he goes, and he's like, "You are clear." Also, tranquilizes him. with an AR-15. They do not make semi-automatic shotguns, to my knowledge. They have to be bolt action because there's not enough pressure to cycle the bolt.
So what we're hearing here is that Barry ordered a hit kill on Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. And before they could pull the trigger on the AR-15, somebody beat him
else
to it and
fired
tranquilized
Of
him.
course. Oh wow!
True.
They knew what they were gonna do. Wow. Yeah, Barry is even more evil than we
So
thought.
yes, so Hitler.
Okay. Yeah.
Continue on.
Barry's hatred of other creatures, humans and bugs included, is very prominent throughout this movie.
Indeed.
Given how much damage he causes to the world as a whole, and his enjoyment of other creatures dying, I see why I called him B. Hitler last year, and I still think that fits him well.
Keep in mind, the only reason that he actually chooses to reverse this is because it starts to affect him.
Yes.
Not just him, but Adam directly, because Adam actually has a job. Barry does not. He doesn't have a job almost the entire
Right.
movie.
It's broken bee society.
Well, because his friend is now mad at him, and now Barry is actually taking blame for something, and so he suddenly now feels bad about it because it's affecting him negatively.
and he to an extent cares about other bees in that they're his society. So for him, the bees are the Aryan race.
Indeed, obviously.
But he's the only blue-eyed yellow.
Because he's a psychic bee.
Yeah.
This is established, yes.
Yeah, this has been established.
Right.
I'm glad my theory is taking wings.
Of course,
Indeed.
it's a
Taking
good
bee
one.
wings and flies. It's like, oh no,
Indeed.
balls, baby.
Yeah, it's all the buzz right now.
Man, we all deserve to die.
God forgive us for not what we do.
Another note. Other bugs talk all the time. How has humanity not realized that animals can talk until now?
Well, because they have different forms of communication.
They talk all the same
They
to each
talk
other.
all the same. The
Yeah.
cow talks in English.
Yes, but they
does.
don't have to.
But what about when the bugs are talking to each other? Like on the windshield of the car, they're all talking.
Indeed,
They
but
talk
again,
to other
it's
bugs
also
and
been
stuff.
established that it's very difficult to hear.
Except for when it's not.
Well, yeah, it's plot convenient.
Of course, right, yes.
Can I-
They're as
wanna-
loud as the plot demands.
That's
Indeed.
true.
I
Because
just-
of
I just
Barry's
wanna
psychic
say-
powers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to
precisely.
say something on the mosquito.
Mhm.
They introduced this mosquito like he's going to be a long time
Yes.
friend of
Yes.
Barry throughout
Right, and then
that
they
movie.
throw him away
And then,
until
like
the very
moment
end
a
of the
blood
movie.
blood bank truck passes. Oh, sorry, bud, I gotta go.
Right.
Screw Moose
And,
Blood.
and
I mean,
he's
to be fair,
gone
that
for
was why he was there.
and he's gone for the rest of the movie until the end thing where he's a
Right.
lawyer.
And also, how
also-
did Barry get in contact
I
with
don't
him?
know. But also,
How do
worth
you
noting,
think?
his name in like the credits and all that stuff is Moose Blood. He is never named, and the only reason that Moose Blood is associated with him is because he wanted to go to Canada to get Moose Blood.
Barry calls him Moose Blood. And
That-
so I think that's
he says Moose Blood guy. He doesn't say Moose Blood.
but I thought some of the other mosquitoes on the blood bank windshield call him that as well.
I don't
Also,
think
made
so.
fun of he probably met him at the hospital because where's that
Oh,
ambulance?
oh,
The later scene. Moose Blood was there
That's a
fighting
good
for Adam's
point.
rights, man. He's a born lawyer.
Of course.
He's already
He's
a
already a
blood-sucking
blood-sucking parasite. All I needed was a briefcase.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. In less than a week of no pollination from I almost said
Without
colonization.
representation.
I mean,
Yeah. In less than a week of no pollination.
Pollinization.
I can't speak now. From bees specifically, most flowers have just died.
Yeah.
right,
Like
and actually
Central
that is
Park
something
just
Ty and I
stopped.
noticed as well, as it's like, that is not how that works. It just
In
means
any
that
way.
the flowers would not continue to get pollinated. They wouldn't die.
They also aren't.
Flowers don't die without
And
pollen.
also,
They just can't make
every
any
form
new
of
ones.
plant life
Oh.
loses all of its color.
Yeah. Also, bees are not the only pollinators.
Yeah.
Right.
Butterflies, mosquitoes too. Mosquitoes
In the span of like less than a week, Central Park
Moths are
died
night
entirely.
Yeah.
Which means that like the entire like New York coastal board is no longer getting wind buffeting
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
I'm
pollen's on the
I'm pretty
wind.
sure just like during like that little span of a week in this world where everything I guess just dies within like 5 days without pollinization.
I mean,
Pollination.
everybody who was allergic to pollen suddenly felt really great for the first time.
I guess so. Like they had like a really good week that one time.
But then it would get really bad because then all the like fungus and stuff would start coming from the decaying plants,
Yeah.
and then it would get worse again.
That's true.
That's true.
So just like I'm just going to like assume since we don't see any other part of New York other than like Central Park and maybe part of like Times Square, I think. Just the entire New York seaboard is just gone because there was no wind buffeting to protect from like the ocean waters. So it's just gone. That's why you don't see it
We can
throughout the
hope.
whole movie.
We can hope.
Yes. Nothing is stopping the bees from continuing to make honey. Sure, they have a bunch of it stockpiled, but they could always keep making it and sell it to humans for profit.
Right, like they could just
Yeah.
join the capitalists.
Yeah, they just
They need to keep making it for themselves.
Right, they're
Yeah,
eventually
well-
going to run out.
So if they just stop making honey for some reason, even though it is
Yeah.
shown to be part of their everyday lifestyle of being soap, hair gel, mouthwash for some reason, like all from the same bottle, by the way.
Right.
Just like I don't understand. It's just like, all right, so you guys have established this is your scripts. This is what you make. This is like this is what powers your cars. What feeds you everything. Why did you stop making it?
Right, because if they
immediately.
stop making it permanently, or if they stop making it until they need it, by that time, because they have so much of it, they're gonna not know how to make it anymore. Like that knowledge will be lost.
Yeah.
Society's
Within
like,
a
Weeks. Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
like
the-
all the ones that are on like the stretchy, like after like I don't know 6 days or whatever of them, not making honey, that would have just like hardened on the machine.
Right.
True.
And then they just started back
So
up, and
effectively, it'll
it's
cause the bee Great Depression.
Yes.
Indeed.
Also, the point of that, when they are delivering this honey into the hive via of a gas pump, we will put that aside for later. I don't care that much about it. The bee in charge is like goes up to the boss. He's like, because it's overflowing. He's like, the thing's made for 3 cups. He goes, it's overflowing. We predicted for 3 cups, and there's gallons more coming. I think we got to shut down. He not only knew there was more than 3 cups.
Right, because it's gallons.
Gallons. He knew there were gallons, plural. I mean, he knew how much there was.
Gallons are less than
And
a
he
cup, right?
decided to have 3 cups.
Also, I will point out the 3 cups doesn't make a lot of sense because everything is honey here.
Yes.
Everything,
So it's like
yes.
they're ponds, they're rivers.
Yeah,
like
they're-
the whole thing that tour boat is on is honey.
Yeah.
So that's a lot more than 3 cups if you add
I mean,
all
Barry's
So that's already
Barry's,
filled in.
Barry's pool alone is
So they
like a
have
cup
to
or two,
exchange
right?
it.
But also,
flowing
point
honey,
being,
you have to exchange.
Barry at some point in the movie says to his dad, he's like, Dad, I remember sometimes we were living off 2 cups a day.
That's a
Wait,
lot.
that's
That's
for
a
one
lot.
bee family, we will say. 1 bee family.
I
This is a family of 3. You're living off of 2 cups.
4, Grandpa.
Oh, 4. They don't
Oh, yeah.
introduce the grandpa until like halfway through the movie, and then
Yeah.
he leaves.
Yeah, he goes to another
Just
cricket.
randomly there.
He goes back to that cricket.
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
And San Jose or something.
Something
We don't
like that,
ask
San
about that.
Antonio.
We don't ask about the
Yeah.
cricket.
Indeed.
Just
I want to know about the cricket.
Why are
Who
you?
is this cricket?
The grandfather went to A Bug's Life. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Carter, if you would, please continue
yes.
on your notes.
Let's see. Oh yes, Barry plans a suicide pact with Vanessa. Brackets! ! Question mark! !
What is this?
That was
When they realize they're like, oh yeah, we really screwed things up here. Like after everything's
Like
dying.
I step
Barry's
on you,
first
you-
decision wasn't to just give it back. He was just like, I want to fucking kill myself.
He's like, I sting you, you step on me. It's like,
Right.
you would just die twice. That's what Vanessa
Yes,
does.
and then what I wrote here is that he plans a suicide pact with Vanessa and chooses stinging as the method of killing her, meaning that he's doing a suicide pact with her that
And
isn't
murder.
going to kill her, it's just going to hurt her.
Yeah.
right.
So he doesn't actually
Unless
want her to
Barry-
die.
Unless
He
he
just wants her to
allergic.
suffer.
Unless he thinks that stinging kills somebody. I think he
Possible.
thinks that stinging people
No.
kills both parties.
No, he doesn't. Well, unless he's completely delusional, which is true anyway.
Yes.
He knows the lawyer wasn't
Well,
killed
hold
when what's his face? Oh, but maybe he
His
thinks that
psychic
because
field.
well, he probably thinks that since the lawyer didn't die because Adam didn't die. They
Right.
both died.
Exactly.
That
Are
or
actually magical
or-
items that.
or he realized that Vanessa was being a mech and was speaking about the bee Vanessa.
Of course. Oh, so they
But
would
that-
sting, so they
but-
would sting each other while the
Yeah.
mech crushes them. both.
Yes, but Vanessa, being the enchantress that she is, kept character. That was a very well
Right.
plotted
Well,
place
I
to
mean,
break character.
it's basically the equivalent of working for like the CIA. Like you have to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yes.
Um,
So Vanessa did not fall for that trap that Barry laid.
Because he's
right.
suspicious.
Barry was getting suspicious at
Of
that
course.
point.
At this
Absolutely.
point.
Yes.
But luckily, his mind is on everything else enough
Right.
that he's
Yes.
not.
And
picking
Vanessa
up on it.
slips away into the shadows like she always does.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. This is when they get their plan to save the plants and all that stuff. Barry and Vanessa go on a crime spree, breaking into a parade staging ground, assassinate a parade princess. They commit GTA, property damage, reckless endangerment, etc.
Yes.
Also, don't they break into an airport?
No,
Yeah.
they were the cop there was
Well, they
acting
effectively
TSA.
hijacked a plane.
They
And also they didn't
And
have
committed
TSA
assault and
because
battery.
no
You're
9/11.
right. They don't have TSA because no 9/11.
Oh, you're right!
That's up.
That's why the tower. This was an important plot
intentional.
thread.
Yeah, it's intentional.
And also, sir, can you remove your stinger? It's part of me. I can't. That's just kidding. You guys have a nice flight.
Exactly. Yes. Also, they impersonate an officer at some point.
Yes, they do.
Continuity
Specifically
error.
Vanessa does.
Yes, she does.
Where did she get that badge?
Exactly.
Probably
Where did you get the
forgery
outfit?
shit.
Also forgery. There's another one. Yeah, continuity error. When the pollen jocks leave the hive to help the plane with the only flowers left, there is a view of visibly green and thriving plants outside the hive.
That's called lazy editing,
maybe,
and they used a shot prior.
maybe
Indeed.
maybe they just hadn't exactly reached. Like, maybe they were over New Jersey.
You visit. No, this is when they're leaving the hive. Like they're
The
like,
hive's not in New Jersey.
Oh, that's true.
The
Okay,
camera
right.
is inside the hive.
Central
looking
Park
out.
has already been established to be
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah, like you fully see everything is gray,
Right.
but then it just shows like bright day shining. Like basically, it's the shot from earlier in the movie.
Also, mind you, if everything had gotten that bad that everything, including trees, flowers, were all withering, then the sky would also not look that blue.
No, it wouldn't. Especially when the plane was flying above the clouds already.
Definitely.
But maybe
All the
maybe
animals would be
and
dying.
Correct.
this is my earlier theory
Especially
as to why the Rose Bowl parade had to be moved up is that because only around New York at the moment was all the plants were dying, and that's pretty that's pretty theoretical because New York is covered in smog. And so is LA.
Oh, so it's dying fast.
And so it's dying faster. So
Okay.
so in the city, in the United States at least, the first 3 cities to fall would have been New York, LA, possibly Chicago, Miami, maybe, and probably Seattle.
most of
Don't
China
forget
would
Pasadena.
die.
But most
Oh, yeah.
China is gone.
India.
First, like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Shanghai
Anyhow,
dead.
go ahead. What are how many notes do you have left?
Not many actually.
Okay.
Only 4. Okay. Yeah. Bees are traveling across the country in what seems like minutes. Already covered that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Magic pollen instantly restores all plants and makes
Yeah.
leaves grow
They're-
on entirely
They
leafless
actually,
branches.
I will rebuke that. They are not traveling cross country because they only traveled to the plane once it was by JFK, but they couldn't land because there was a bad storm. So they were already still in New York. Because they were by JFK.
Because the plane was
is
delayed,
JFK
so they got on it, and then no, because they're passengers. They don't steal the plane. They end
No.
up hijacking it later, but
Well, they didn't mean to. Well, maybe Barry did. It's to be determined. But the bees that helped fly the plane did not leave state. They were
Right.
still close to JFK Airport, which
Yes,
is
that is correct.
in New York. So maybe they crossed the state, but
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Our
but the
friend Jason
Poland-
is looking up how close JFK is to Central Park.
Right.
So JFK and Central Park are 18 miles apart from each other.
Jeez.
And with bees
I-
traveling at
yeah.
eight
They
well, with
can
bees,
travel 25
20
miles an hour.
20,
But how
20
high
miles
was
per
it
hour.
flying? Was it on descent or was
It was on descent,
but-
and also they
Maybe
can
the bees
fly
can fly
higher
less
than
than
Mount
an hour.
Everest.
But all right,
They can fly higher.
I forgot about
I
that.
don't
They
know
could
if
fly
that's-
higher than Everest.
No.
But-
Yeah.
They travel 25
Yeah.
miles an hour. They can go up to 25 miles in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And given the point, they probably this is this was during the hijacking. They were still coming into New York, so they plausible took them about an hour to maybe 45 minutes to
Indeed.
get there.
All right, we're getting really caught up on repeated discussions.
Yes,
about
yes.
it.
Continue. Finish this up.
It is.
Yeah,
It
let's
is
go. We
getting
got this.
late.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is actually a post thing. I sped through the end credits. I don't think we noticed this last year. There was an end credits song,
Yes.
Oh?
and
it's
it
jazz.
was what?
And it's jazz.
No. This is afterwards. There is a short end credit song that definitely was cut from the movie. It was a song that was basically meant to be Barry realizing, oh, you're gonna work us to death and all that stuff, and then people singing about it. You gotta think B or something like that.
Oh, okay.
If you go back, the end credits at the very end, there is a whole musical number basically that was cut from the movie at some point.
Okay.
Also, days later, I don't care for the last 10 minutes of this movie. The first portion is fun ridiculousness. Feels like the party has left the hive the GM had prepared, and the GM had to make up everything from then on the spot because everything is just chaotic. And oh yes, these people who are selling the honey, they are aware they're doing these evil things and all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
it does have that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then oh, this lawyer is coming and he's going to challenge you now, and it really feels like
I feel
that.
like I have to establish like this has to be like in 2007 because what was the award that the actor
2005. Ray Liotta got
Yep.
Yeah,
that
Rio-
was- we
congratulating
did
him
actually
on an
go down.
award in 2005 for
Gotcha.
ER, and it's 2007 canonically.
so
Ray
yeah,
Liotta is a time
9/11
traveler.
never happened.
Right. This is an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta is a time traveler who was sent back in the past to help Barry Benson win this. Or sorry, sent in the future to help Barry win
He actually
this case.
fights against
He
Barry.
fights
No,
against
no, no,
Barry.
no. But that's the reason.
He's
He
very
can't-
he's
he can't-
directly racist against Barry.
He
in that
Also
can't-
movie.
attempted murder.
He
Yes,
can't. Well,
yes.
he can't blow his cover of being a time traveler. So, what's the best cover there is to
Murder.
be the bad guy?
I see.
Also, why was Sting there?
Because of his name.
Yeah.
and no other reason.
but there are
He has-
several artists named Sting.
Actually, we did talk about that. That sting is not only used as like a bee sting; it can also be like, "Ooh, man,
Scorpion.
That really
Really?
stings.
yeah, that
Mm.
stings," or a sting
So
as in
he
like
copyrighted
something
the word
that is
sting.
quick.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
Or Sting Operation.
are
Right? Yeah,
those
that's actually kind of
yeah.
what I'm referencing.
are those your notes?
So yeah, I don't care for the last 10 minutes of the movie. The last bit feels like a cheesy, obligatory ending that just has to be there for it
Definitely
to feel
does
like a
have that
movie.
I see.
Definitely.
Mhm.
All
That's-
right.
Like
the-
your token good.
That is all. That is
Yeah,
all.
That is the end of my
Alright.
notes.
All right. Let's get through Brooks' notes and we'll do
Indeed.
links,
And now-
we can
now two
continue
more
to
people's
talk a little bit more
Oh,
about
God.
Brooks.
All right, so most of my notes actually are mentioned by a few other people. So one of the things that I said earlier is that Barry definitely fucking drowned in that pool. There's another scene where I believe this is right after the hospital scene when he's, getting the fuck out of there. He catches up to a biker. This biker is actively moving at the same rate of traffic, and this traffic is not going slow.
Oh no! This scene was when he was going after Honey Farms truck.
Yeah.
Right.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. This was a while back then. Mind you, he also grabs onto like a tassel or like the zipper or something
Yes.
on this
And
bag.
the
And
biker
noticed.
That was in my notes as well.
He notices
How heavy
that.
is this bee?
Like
It's very dense.
he's very.
He's made of tungsten.
Yeah,
He's already
he's
like
made
some
of
3 inches tall.
I cast tungsten broom.
like he's already 2 to 3 inches tall, so he's
Indeed.
gotta be heavy.
So I also commented on the tiny ass wheels on this truck. It's like it looks like they put like a toddler's bike tires onto a truck.
looks
For anyone who hasn't seen the movie, which absolutely go watch this movie so you can understand what we're talking about. But
Or
it
don't, and
does.
listen to several years of this without any context.
You
Do not
could also
question
do
our
that.
expertise.
But
We are
it
the
definitely
masters.
looks like somebody put like toddler bike wheels on this truck because it's just that comically tiny. So then the next comment, and this actually does kind of make sense a little bit for Jason's comment earlier about Barry potentially being transgender, because Barry knows what a drag race is.
That's true. That's
He
true.
knows what drag is.
Yeah,
How
Hold
is
on,
he
hold on.
familiar?
Yeah.
A drag race or a
Queen.
drag
Drag.
queen?
He
knows what a drag
references
queen
a
is.
drag
Okay.
queen,
He
meaning he
does.
knows what drag race, as in like RuPaul, not drag races in cars.
Okay, that was very.
He is aware of drag queens and drag races because he talks about there being a bee in drag.
That's a
which
man in
means
woman's clothes.
exactly,
Yeah,
which
it's a
means
drag
that
queen.
Barry is
Exactly.
familiar with that sort of space.
Oh,
So
dear.
maybe he's involved a little bit more than it's let on.
Uh-huh.
He
Very
also
possible.
is familiar with plastic surgery.
Yes, true.
All of these, by the way, are happening, I believe,
Flowers
on
that
the
Yeah,
plane.
he
Had
says
work
nothing's
done.
Oh,
worse
yeah.
than a flower
I-
that's had work done.
Yes.
I did have in my notes. Barry hates plastic surgery.
Yes,
does.
because he's talking about the fake flowers, and those like Lincoln said, he references having it
A disdain
a
for
flower with work done. And so clearly he knows what plastic surgery is.
He would
Another
know
thing,
that because he's
Superior
also a drag
Court.
queen.
What is Superior Court?
What?
Yes.
So when they go to file
mail.
when they go to file that in the mail to the court, they address it to the Superior Court. That's not a thing.
Not they specifically
Not the
not
Superior
they
Court.
specifically go to New York,
Supreme Court.
what's
Yes.
New York State Court.
Yes, and mind you, we did look this up.
The address is correct.
It is the actual address for the courthouse. That is the actual address, but it's not the Superior Court.
So I wonder if maybe they couldn't use it because it wasn't
The
actually
Supreme
a
Court.
thing.
It's possible. It's
Sup-
possible.
Well,
Maybe the original story was supposed to go to U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah.
right,
I
but
just
even
said the
then,
wrong
it would
one,
be
yeah.
Supreme Court, not Superior Court.
But you still can't use Supreme Court.
You
I
can,
guess.
I would think.
You can.
I
Right.
don't know why you couldn't. Be
I mean,
like
the
trying
word
to
supreme
reference
is
the
covered.
president.
And then
Yeah,
I
it's
did
not-
make the note
I'm one of
of the
those-
Twin Towers being visible despite it being 2000, it
Seven.
being past 2005 because of that award. And we're like, okay, so clearly something's different in this timeline.
Right.
Additionally, there is a comment that Vanessa makes when Barry comes over and he's sitting on that little like child's table.
Yeah.
There is a comment when Ken comes home. Vanessa she says it so casually. She looks over her shoulder and says, "Oh yeah, he borrowed your razor, by the way."
Knowing full well that he is allergic to bees.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that too.
Allergic to bees, and she has let Barry B. Benson, the man, the myth, the legend himself of the Bee movie, use Ken's razor on what? Because Barry's hair doesn't look any different.
indeed.
So
What is he shaving?
He's still-
right, and then
and Barry saved his
So
ass.
effectively, he's shaving his ass.
so basically, so either Ken is gonna have the razor on his face that Barry used all over
No,
his
Ken
body,
doesn't have a beard.
Or-
He has no stubble.
He
Or-
doesn't have a beard because he shaves it.
No, he shaves his nuts.
or he's shaving down there and exposing that to allergens.
Indeed. There's also another quote for that area. Oh, Ken. I made this food and you weren't picking up, so I invited Barry.
She fed
A bee.
Barry, the bee, an entire human-sized meal.
No.
Also, how did she kill Barry?
No. She fed him a pea and a little bit piece of meat, and then proceeds to tell Ken.
Is that what
there's-
she cooked for Ken? She cooked
Oh, no. But also at the same point in time when Candace finally sits down, she's like, I think there's a little left. Let me reheat it for you. A little left? You gave him a piece of meat out of this entire meal, which sounded like it was for two
Also,
because it was originally
bees
for
don't
10.
eat meat.
That isn't the cannibal.
Do they eat peas?
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
they
That's a
are
plant.
vegetables, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, that has plausible deniability.
I guess.
That
He does have a
specifically
human mouth
bees.
and probably human
Right, he
digestion.
has teeth. So clear, and he has human teeth. So that
Yeah.
would specify that he is an
Bees with human teeth.
It's so fun.
Anyhow.
So then the next thing that I said is there is, I forget exactly where this happens in the movie. I believe it is on the airplane, and somebody says something about like winning something, and the thing that he says is a talking inflatable ear and nose trimmer.
Yes.
What is
It was on the airplane where he knocked on the door to get the stewardess. He's like, "Hey, I saw this in a magazine. I want to get this inflatable ears, hair, and nose trimmer."
Inflatable, and yes,
Yeah.
it is a talking inflatable ear and nose hair trimmer. How does that work?
What?
You don't have hair going in your ears.
And also, he said like Skyfly magazine. That's an actual magazine. It exists.
I see.
How did anybody know earlier in the movie? Because Barry says he knows that his cousin was killed by a thing of Italian Vogue.
The page.
Reported back to Barry's family. Yeah,
Well,
your cousin was killed by
Yeah, like, where did you even learn this?
No,
That's
but
part of the school
no,
curriculum?
this is where Dave the Undying comes in. He is testing. One of the things he's testing on is a roll of magazine, and Barry before then says, that was like 50 pages. No, yeah, 170 is usually our limit. It passes by Italian Vogue, and then when Ken comes to murder him,
he says
as he should have.
Yeah,
Right.
he uses Italian
He
Vogue.
used that's
a
Italian
lot
Vogue.
of
Mamma
pages.
mia, that's a lot of pages.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that it's possible that Barry's brother was one of the test guys and got killed in testing.
Before they
It is.
found
Okay, that's a
before
good
they
point.
found Dave the Undying.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And then the last comment I'll make, because
Dave the
a lot
Undying
of these
Senior.
other ones are things that have been said by other people here, and I don't want to rehash old stuff. The last thing that I noted, when they're interviewing everybody with what's going on with the whole plane situation, they come up to the fucking air traffic controller, and his name is Mr. Dishwater.
What?
Mr.
Mr. Dishwater.
Dishwater.
Yeah,
His last name.
Is Dishwater.
I'm very aware with the beef problem on the plane.
Yeah, and Mike was like, what do you have to say about this, Mr. Dishwater? And I was like, hold the fuck up.
Also implies that this went through multiple generations of dishwater.
Yeah.
That leads me to question: what country does the Dishwater family come from?
Right, like where does this originate from?
And
China.
I don't
Probably-
know,
probably-
Czechoslovakia.
Probably the sink.
Okay.
I would personally pay to see a movie about the Dishwater family.
That's true. That sounds like a mafia movie.
Right, like it's some sort of like,
Or
you know how they
serial
have the
killers.
wet bandits?
About the
Yes,
first
from
in
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone? They
Yeah,
have the Wet Bandits. That's actually where it came from. They took on the name Wet Bandits after they got out of prison.
that's true.
And over time, that was misconstrued because this takes place so far after Home Alone. That name got misconstrued and ended up turning into
To like,
Dishwater.
yes.
saturated
From
with water.
wet-
Yes.
From Wet
Yes,
Bandits, WB
precisely.
to Mr. Dishwater. So the W stayed the same, but the B went to a
Right,
D.
things got a little switched around because they got lost in translation, things like that.
Also, during this point,
got hit with a
the air
brick
traffic
7 times.
controllers who are really not looking away from the computer because they're you know doing their jobs of keeping thousands upon thousands of planes from colliding and landing, keeping everything flowing smooth. And they're very concerned now because one of the planes is not working. Have the time on their hands to look down, see a billion bees dancing, and so get some lights on that. Also, may I point out, it's only overcast during the day, meaning the lights would do nothing. There's still enough light coming through because as soon as the plane lands, the sun comes out.
Because magic.
Because
Because very psychic power.
Indeed.
Oh god!
Barry felt the need to incite an incident so that he could then portray himself as the
Of
hero.
course, of course.
And then Mr. Dishwater says a lovely line of, "Is this plane rotating?" As it's going into land.
Plane moving in a bee-like manner.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
All right,
Well, that's all I have. Link, you want to go ahead and hit us
All
with your
right.
notes?
Get us
let's
through
see.
these notes, Linky.
How many notes do you have?
Did you
About
just call
45?
him Linky?
What do you want me to call
Let
him?
me be the first
Lunk?
person to tell me that.
I prefer you just call him Link
Lunk.
than Linky.
I'm just imagining.
Linkies.
Linkies. Linky.
Like,
Lingui.
I don't know why. That
What's
has
her
a
face?
weirdly suggestive vibe.
It does. It definitely does.
31,
Yeah.
32, 33,
I was thinking,
34,
like
35,
Scooby-Doo.
37.
You
I
have
have
37?
I have
Well, how many
37
of these
notes.
are repeats?
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of repeats. Also, I have been I have been ironically called Linky Poo repeatedly.
God.
All right, let's try to do the ones that
I
aren't
was really
repeats.
scared you were going to say it
So-
unironically.
Browse through them.
Let's see.
How's your glorious brain?
Something I don't think I ever got to touch on. Who wears toe rings?
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Vanessa
they
does.
also mentioned tattoos.
Vanessa,
And
for
toe
some
rings.
reason.
I don't like
toe
that.
ring.
It's
a ring
rings you
wear on the
put on your toe.
Why?
That's what Vanessa said. He's like, "What's a toe ring? It's a ring you wear on your toe."
Why?
He's like, why would you wrap metal around your toe? I'm
Yes.
like, uh-huh.
It'd be so uncomfortable to walk on.
It's just people.
And then cut off the circulation to your toes.
Hey,
Not
maybe she's trying to
necessarily,
get
but
Ken
still.
off her back.
Racism. Also where spiders go. Racism. Fort Mosquito. B. Hercules. Barry B. Benson mentions Hercules at some point.
Yeah,
Is there
he
a
does.
B. Hercules?
He does.
Let's see. So that, more racism, more mosquito racism,
Mhm.
more bee racism.
Mhm.
So that's what, 4?
Put a racist counter on the screen, please.
I mean, we've established that Barry's racist towards everybody. But
right.
Right.
The license plate on the lawyer's, the enemy lawyer's car is alibi.
Yes,
just
very
thought it was
good.
amusing.
I enjoyed that as well.
The helicopters, the news choppers over the courtroom,
Yeah.
they
Lean
lean
in,
in.
yeah.
There's no way how helicopters work.
Right.
They'd be colliding into each other at that point.
Right.
Before then, even because they're already leaning
And they also
Right.
do that to hear him speak.
Right.
inside the courtroom.
While they're in helicopters.
Right.
Also famously loud.
Also, I do have to give the news people in that scene credit because instead of not talking about the lawsuit, their main headline is "If a honeybee can actually speak."
Right.
Right. Also, they're flying these choppers in between the streets
Yeah. Actually,
at like 5th story level. I don't even know if they can fit.
Don't know.
Very wide streets.
which New York totally had.
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because they've got like Pacific Rim streets.
I mean, to
Indeed.
be fair, right around the courthouse, they probably would have decently sized streets.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
But that still definitely wouldn't fit into the environment.
No.
Indeed.
Bro is just Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who?
The lawyer.
Gotcha.
The bear is very polite. He like does that whole show and then he's like, okay. all
Right. Yeah, he just thought that's enough and he
That
just chilled.
that bear is also the bear from
Oh,
Over
yeah.
in the Hedge.
Which, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's the same design.
Oh, is it? That's great.
So we can assume it's part of the same universe.
Oh dear,
Oh,
no.
Because they
God.
also has talking animals.
No.
Of course. But this is before that.
Yes,
Because
the,
they,
Yeah.
the
that
bear
people
the bear
don't
was getting was that's how the bear got work.
I mean, I do regret to inform you. Unfortunately, I've not seen that. But if it
It's a
is,
good movie.
you know,
Also, might I point out, since we're on the court scene, the one juror with a bee sweater on showing judicial bias.
Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely.
That's why the
I
other
will say
jurors
that-
trying to say, no, quit.
I will say this: he didn't do that until after the first time they were in court.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Meaning meaning
But
Barry
he's
corrupted him
he
into
is
bias.
visibly showing bias, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not allowed.
Right.
Right.
Anyhow.
I do
Uh,
agree with that.
Let's see. During the fight between Benson and Ken, I might have just missed his foot doing it or whatever, but it seems like the nail file levitates into his hand. I might have just not caught.
No, there's a foot.
He does
there's
definitely.
a
Okay,
Yeah.
that was just me not seeing it right.
Yeah.
I was watching this across the room on my second monitor.
Interesting.
The lawyer was absolutely willing to die for this case.
He was.
Yeah, because doesn't his assistant say, "Aren't you allergic?"
Right, yeah.
No, he says,
only
are,
losing.
no, are you allergic? And he says, only to losing, son.
Indeed.
Right. The neck
Also-
brace. my fifth thing of racism.
Oh.
It just says racism.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's because it says the white man and the
Yes.
black
White man.
White man.
Quick note that I forgot to write down. You know, when he has the neck brace, he also has like one of those baby like
Right.
stroller things. That thing is clearly not sized for a baby, so they bespoke made that.
With toy and all.
Also, on that note, can I point out that
I think it was
we
personal.
can agree that his ass and britches are way too thick for a bee stinger to go through there.
Probably, yeah.
So how do you even feel it?
I think that's
He's,
maybe-
he's a lawyer.
They,
and he
yeah,
can
they
put
do
back.
seem very tight.
they seem very tight. I think they're a
And
lot
they're
thinner
definitely
than they look.
elastic.
Yeah,
They're
that's
absolutely
for sure.
elastic.
May-
It's like when he
maybe
gives those
they're-
bad boys a pull,
Yeah,
you can
right.
see both
Maybe
cheeks.
that's the
There's
only
way
reason
too
Adam
much.
You
survived.
can see the
Maybe.
candy
Because
between
Adam-
his ass.
Adam didn't make contact with
Skin.
Montgomery's butt. He only made contact with Montgomery's
Pants.
clothing.
He
Hey!
definitely went through. It's wearing very thin pants. It leaves nothing to the imagination.
Also,
Unfortunately.
Montgomery's
Okay,
caked up.
Okay, so then we're just going back
Actually,
to
support his point.
so I get
Adam doesn't go to jail.
This is true. Well,
he assaults
bee.
another lawyer in court. That's right.
It's a bee.
And he doesn't go to jail.
But
Well,
it's a
there was
bee.
also
He's-
attempted murder and presumably whatever his face is.
If
doesn't
Ray
Beef-
Liotta
if
trying to
Beef
kill
cannot
Barry,
be
yes.
charged for murder, I highly doubt that they would let them have any sort of rights.
Okay, may I point out that murder requires you to kill the person, and it's a
Assault
bee.
does
So
not
the
require-
attempted
There
murder.
is attempted murder. There's also assault and battery are two separate things.
True, but
For reference, Adam would have been charged with battery.
is that the more mild or more
No,
extreme?
battery is actual contact.
yes, it's inside.
Okay.
Assault is
Not necessarily.
not
physical.
necessarily physical. Yes,
Okay.
because you can verbally assault somebody. You cannot
Gotcha.
verbally batter somebody.
Gotcha.
Well, you can, but it's not a legal. term,
Words
I
will
guess.
never hurt
Right.
me.
Not
Anywho,
legally.
Link,
Yeah.
what are you? Any more?
We've already sort of mentioned this, but Barry immediately turns on the bears despite
Yes,
them helping the
Yes,
court case.
absolutely. I
Yes,
noticed
yes,
that
yes.
too.
Okay, bear.
He's very xenophobic.
Yes.
I.e. racism, making
Yeah.
this the sixth racism in my
Okay.
notes. Starting to think Barry is a fascist.
Okay, keep
These
going.
are the early pollinators. We've been over that. Beef-
Sorry.
Go ahead.
One note that I forgot. There's a scene in the lawyer scene that I think is the closest thing to the banana scene in Paul Blart, where it's like something that's comedic but also deeply disgusting.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's really well, no. Well, it's his reaction after it. The last scene of him doing that, where he's like, "Oh Lord, come down!
I see the light.
He goes, "Come down!" It's like, "Oh Lord, come down and suck the poison from my heaving buttocks." And that is a
Stinging is the
brutally
only thing that they
disgusting
do. It's
line.
their way.
Dude,
I
love
do.
that
I
line.
do think like it's
Yeah.
so hilarious, but it's also so visceral.
Yeah,
It definitely
really
has the same vibe of watching Myrtle eat that banana.
Yeah.
That voice actor was having a blast.
he was there just for the
Also,
fucking
I think
thrill of it.
Absolutely.
isn't that voice actor? He was on Roseanne. He played the husband in Roseanne.
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea.
No.
Let me go.
Well, here, Link, go ahead. and
Keep her
hit
going. Keep
the
her
point.
going.
Bees can apparently fly faster than an airliner because the jocks
Right.
do catch up.
Psychic
Um,
powers.
But Barry can't catch up to a New York taxi.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, New York taxis are flying.
John Goodman. Yeah,
Right.
John Goodman.
Wait.
Wow.
He's Montgomery.
Oh, okay, nice. For a second, I was I heard Saul
He looks
Goodman.
Hi, I'm John Goodman. You have rights.
My
You know you do.
brain corrected it as if that was
Yeah.
the name of the
He
actor.
was in
John
Roseanne, The Big
Goodman.
Lebowski,
I see you.
the Connors, 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Righteous Gemstones, Monsters Inc. He's Sully.
Oh,
The Flintstones, Emperor's New Groove.
Dude, this man really is just in it for the thrill.
I mean, I'm down to. He's 73 years old. I'm down to do a podcast about John Goodman. But that's
I
the
see.
point.
Excuse me, we need to focus on his true masterpiece, the Bee movie.
yes,
Also-
clearly it's.
We've already touched on it,
Yeah.
but the only Barry's beehive was enough to cover the entire bottom of the plane and the giant flower, which is stupid.
3.6 billion bees.
I'm curious what the leather vests that the aviators have are made out of.
Love it.
Also, how did they already have custom-made ones for him?
That one makes a bit more sense because the whole court case had already gone on and stuff.
Right,
like
it
that.
has been
Well, he signed
But
it.
what are they
Why didn't
made
they
out
give
of?
it to them?
Is there like bug leather?
It's
Yeah.
made out of honey.
Made out of honey. Honey
Dried
leather.
honey. Yeah, honey leather.
That's why
You
it's
take
hot.
the skin of honey and you just dry it out.
Uh-huh.
All animals and insects are completely sentient, and it took a bee speaking up to break the
A
silence.
single bee.
A single
No
bee.
one else had broken the silence.
And
Not,
then
not
I
a
also
fly caught in a spider
I
web
guess you could
screaming
say
for help.
instead of change happening, he became the change.
I'm gonna hit
Be
you.
the change
He
you want to
be
see.
the change you want to see. The change.
And this entire premise is stupid because bees are the only animal we ranch where they choose to be ranched by us. They stay in bee boxes willingly.
Because
Right,
they're
they
queens.
stay vegan.
Because their queen's there. May I point out? Because in the beehive scene at Honey Farm, she's like, "Our queen's here. We got no choice."
That is a good point because they would relocate the
Yes.
queens.
Right.
So
to
that
there.
means
It's a-
that queen was specifically working with honey farms.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's
Meaning
shown,
no
it's shown it's
Hunnics.
not the actual queen because it's a guy in
Yeah.
women's clothes.
Right.
So this is
That's where the
puppet
drag
ruler.
comment comes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where. So they put up. They've silenced the
puppet-
queen and put a puppet ruler. in.
Yes. And also, what else is in that hive? Hunnex.
It is.
That's
A,
right.
Hunnex and Honey Farms
It's a Hunnex
are
work
working
camp.
together.
definitely.
So what?
Circling
I
back to
forget, was there
Hunnex is Arasaka.
Hunnex Corporation
Indeed.
branded stuff inside the beekeeper
Yes.
hives?
There
Okay.
was.
Oh,
There was
is there?
wallpaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hunnex spans
The world, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
presumably all at least
It's-
all hives in the area of around there.
Yeah.
it's a mega corporation that is functionally a nation at this stage.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is we need
Corporal state.
Yeah.
A
a
fascist,
real dystopia.
a fascist socialist corpo state.
we need
I hate this.
we need B Johnny Silverhand.
Stick some iron in your mouth and
Johnny
pull the
Stinger hand.
big trigger.
Stick a stinger in your mouth and
Pull the trigger.
Got anything else?
That's the notes I have.
Yes.
All right,
All right.
sweet. Afterthoughts, guys.
I think that we are slowly but surely uncovering the secrets behind Vanessa, the corpo trader.
I think we're really
And-
understanding the true social commentary that the B movie was
Yeah.
and
We're-
is intended to be.
I think
Because
we're
it's not-
understanding-
It's ahead of its time.
We are
It really was.
understanding the
Clearly,
deeper.
yeah.
We are understanding the deeper intricacies of Hunnex
Indeed.
being, this Scripps company, fucking, absolutely insane. Just
And actually, if you really
Arasaka.
look at the Hunnex logo as well, it's blue and it's red.
Ah,
And
wait, it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes. Now, keep in mind the specific appearance of the Hunnex logo is very, very similar to the in real life Costco logo.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
And also they have Hunron, which is a kickoff of
Indeed.
Chevron.
Mm.
So what we're understanding is Costco and Chevron are all in on this
It's-
conspiracy.
this is all-
Another-
It is purple and blue.
Another
Is it?
They
Yeah.
definitely have a monopoly at this
better
stage.
way to
Purple
to
shade
say
of
that
red.
Hunnex is
to a degree.
another way to say that Hunnex is in league with Honey Farms is that they say they have beekeepers. He's like, well, you don't have any bee freers, do you? He's like, no. But on the job board, there was a hive keeper job.
There was.
Ah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Although, well, no,
That's
that's
more
gonna
of a
be
housekeeper.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
housekeeper.
Yes.
It definitely would be a
but-
housekeeper position, but I feel like if you read into it, it could also, in theory, be more
Yes,
than
a
that.
hive keeper. He
It could be,
feeds
yeah.
information
They
to
go-
the beekeepers.
It's like a black site. Like
Yes.
it's a place they don't even know about.
Yeah.
That's the farms. So they send bees. They'll be like, oh yeah, they're a beekeeper. They're a hive keeper. Yes. So so they're doing maintenance and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But really, they're actually like prison wardens.
Yes.
Basically.
Maybe that's what the official title of a honey farm queen is hive.
Ah.
Also, may I
That's a
point
good
out-
point.
Indeed.
That obviously we've talked about the workers are in on this conspiracy for
Yes.
Honey Farm.
Some of them.
So,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
context that we're not seeing this from Barry's perspective, and the workers are just normal dudes like in our world. They are being corporate henchmen bad guys about doing something perfectly legal about taking honey,
Yeah.
packaging it, and selling it,
Yes.
which is completely illegal.
Yep.
And yet they may have the delusion, probably from all the smoke, that they are evil henchmen working for a corpo's state connected
Yes.
with bees.
So actually, yeah. So really, all of this is a like a drugged out dream of those guys thinking they're gangsters.
There was
No,
a honey
it's-
farms disaster, and this is their last
It's
thought.
It's a
Sure.
drugged out daydream of specifically the guy who smells Barry B. Benson and sword fights him.
Yeah, he was high long before he came to work that day.
Yes.
Also, I was just looking at the Hunex logo, and I want to appreciate the fact that it is a flower that is also at the same time an atom.
An AT-AT, what?
Yeah, but
Oh, I'm not talking about that Hunex logo. There's another one that they show that's just Hunex, the name.
Honex.
That's when they're in the
Yes,
like,
that is when
amusement
they're
ride
in the
things.
boat part. Yeah. And that's the one that looks like the Costco symbol.
So obviously we have during that boat scene it says in Spanish what it was just said. So does this mean that obviously the New York hives are much like New York itself, where it's a multitude of different bees of all
Probably
ethnicities
Very
and
likely.
races?
Very likely.
So does that also mean that it can face the same problem as of immigration?
Very
Absolutely.
likely. Very
Are you
likely.
telling me that there's a
but
bunch
they're
of
all
ice-
cousins.
Well, not yet. This is
Yeah,
2000.
they're all
Well,
cousins.
there's an
But there aren't
ATF8.
other
Think
people
about
who are
that. There's an
different.
ATF meet, an alcohol,
But there's no
tobacco,
CFA.
firearms. Well, yeah, because 9/11 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
There's
well,
alcohol,
it
tobacco,
won't
firearms,
happen.
and honey.
In theory.
Okay, here's another thing too. Before, because we are dragging on quite
Yes.
long to the point that we
Right.
are
We have-
definitely past the runtime of the
We have
movie.
4 minutes
We've
left.
probably got
We are at
probably twice. or
in
maybe-
30 seconds. We will be at 3 hours.
Good God!
All right, let's.
All right,
get her-
so one of the things that we did not get to last year, something very important for this eternally long podcast that we've committed the rest of our lives to, and the rest of future people's lives
Yes.
to. We hope that this
course.
podcast will last longer than our lives, than the listeners' lives, than our children's lives.
Indeed.
And thusly, we have decided to name our successors.
Correct.
And some of us have requested permission from our successors, some of us have not. But we will go around in a little circle here and name off our successors. You want to go ahead and
I
start us
will
off?
continue my hubris. I don't know if I said it because that's our last time, but I will continue the hubris of whoever said it in the Paul Blart Cup.
Go ahead, Montgomery.
I'm pretty-
I
yeah,
am
I'm
going to
pretty
live to
sure
be
that's
120 years old. I have plenty of time.
I'm sure you are.
I am not getting.
I have more faith in Carter to outlast you.
Oh, thanks.
Why did you say that as a question?
No, I don't.
Room road.
Carter doesn't want to live to be 120 years
That's
old.
fair.
No, I'm going to live forever.
I see.
Oh, man.
I did ask a couple people,
Good luck living
however,
with the
the
consequences
people
of
I did
all of our
ask,
actions.
the people I did ask,
I'm going to be sheltering the next generation of Beal Wendell.
the people I asked said no. However, I have some more people to ask. But for now, I'm going to challenge fate and say, strike me down, Zeus. You don't got the
Another
ball.
one.
Wow, okay, so both of you are going to die in the next year.
That's malarkey. Jason.
All right. So the only person I asked was my own sibling, and their response was, "I will be in Wales." However, Brooke made a very astute observation that August can just call in. So,
Yeah,
August,
those
I
are
hereby name you, but despite your efforts to get away from this idea and to ever have to watch the B movie again, I name you my successor.
Successful.
Have
edit
fun
that
with
out
that. Have fun with that. You get to curse me from the grave when I die.
Also, your fly's down.
No. His B is down.
Fuck you
Is
both.
that what you call them?
By all known laws of aviation, you need to zip that up.
Carter.
So,
yeah.
yeah, for those who are listening, we are all actually meeting in person. This is not
Yes.
this is not the same way that our rival, our significantly more successful rival.
You mean our progenitor?
Yes.
Fair enough. Our role model, so to speak.
Yes, our idols.
They I completely lost my train of thought. Shit.
Deathblart.
Yes.
To death to a split.
Indeed.
Yes, we are all meeting in person, unlike our lovely role models. So yeah. Go ahead, Carter.
Oh yeah, my successor is my sister,
Can we get a name?
Helpful.
Jim.
I
My
think
sister Grace.
understandable.
Yes, my sister Jim.
Indeed.
For me, my successor is going to be somebody very near and dear to my heart, who I will thusly curse with this profane task at hand. Olivia Fehrenbach, I hope you are happy with your future role
boy.
should I die in this next year.
All right. With that, any announcements? Anybody have anything interesting relating to this?
I have zipped up my fly.
All right.
I'm really glad
on
to
the
know
top of
about
this,
that.
God forgive us.
And with that, I think we come to the end. And as always,
One burning question remains. Why is
younger
younger
guys
guys
so
so
difficult?
difficult? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this year's episode.
have a good night, everybody.
Look at me, man.